gotta have a lamp. I gotta have light. This is ridiculous. Couldn't find anything that made me look slim.
So
they got mirrors for that shit, bro.
You guys on your phones, you need to make sure you talk loud, not loud, but like not quietly.
Have a lamp. We're gonna have light.
Oh, we're on. We're on YouTube.
Dude, we're actually live right now.
Oh, shit.
I mean, hopefully no one in the world is watching us currently. We got like 4 minutes until people actually see us do shit.
Were you talking about me, Chase?
If we get like one person to watch this live, I'll be
right.
Oh,
right.
Oh,
well, I will say this. I threw it out to like text to like Tanya, to Kristen, to my brother. And I'm like, dude, just tell people.
Cool.
But the thing is, like, here's one of the things on this is like, I think what I'm hoping is that this will help jump subscriptions on the YouTube page too. Because I'll have to go to it to see it. And then they can subscribe to it.
So just say that while we're live.
I was just about to say, so speaking of which, push the subscribe button.
Exactly.
Button.
Yes.
Bang that button.
Where's this? It's
somewhere on this screen, right? Is in here.
Oh, man. Yeah, so Mike, Larry, you guys on your phones, just make sure you speak with your MC authority.
You're not a problem.
Hey! Not a problem. Hey!
Oh, man.
So listen, now that we're live and we're all here, I have missed you boys. You guys so freaking much.
Dude.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Like that's such an understatement comment.
Oh,
we talk about it on the show all the time and then always end up talking about that after the show. It's like, dude, we never hang out and miss everybody. And we lost our CrossFit, summer camp and just sucks.
It sucks.
Yeah, you said it. I think I was listening to some of your recaps, some of your recent episodes, which are very good, by the way.
Thank you.
Thanks, man.
Yeah, man, you guys said it like, it's like, hey, we'll see you guys next time. Then that next time never came around.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Bill, you were the last person I sat in a hotel room with and had a beer.
Oh,
Dang.
shit, that's right.
Is it really?
Yeah, we sat there and had.
Right, dude.
You were the last one, bro.
I'll wear that badge with honor right now, my friend.
Hey, Bill, we got 100 subscribers today on YouTube.
Oh,
3
dang.
people watching right now.
Oh my God! Hey, don't judge us right now. We haven't officially started, people. You're here
It's
early
mostly
for
my
the
family.
pregame.
Sorry, guys.
You're here for the pregame.
This is the pregame.
It's my mom, my dad, and one
Hi, kids.
both of them.
Is
Well,
it really
hey,
your
so
mom and dad? Oh, it's like they're up late.
One of my other brothers is not watching because he's an asshole. No, I'm just kidding. My brother's.
Speaking of late, I just made coffee. So.
Oh, hey.
Oh, yeah.
Honestly, hold that, because that's one of my moments right there. Hold that.
I knew somebody was going to
Hold that. Yep.
Okay.
Hey, real fast before we get going, how can I? Are you the only one that can monitor this stuff, Chase? Are you doing it?
Comment?
You got to do it all.
I don't know because I'm on a delay. There's like
But I can't see the page. Like,
you can't see the page. Oh, like you can't admin the page.
well, I don't even want to admin it. I just want to, like, I put it on the homepage and I can't see. Oh shoot! Here we go. Okay, let me see if I can pull this up. Hold on, stand by.
If you kick me out of this, I'm gonna.
Oh. Okay. All right, I muted that. All right, so that's down. How many people are watching right now? Anybody?
5.
5? Okay.
Amazing.
Fast. One of you cool 5 people. Can you say something just to see if something like gets typed up? I just want to see if it happens. See what kind of delay we have.
I just typed something to see if anyone else would type something.
Okay. I saw that. Okay, that's excellent.
They're like, nah.
They're like, I don't want to play that game. I don't want you to know who I am. You don't know me. Don't act like you know me. Oh, Brian Friend.
Brian.
There we go.
Damn it. Now he's going to he's fact checking. That's the only reason he's in here.
Oh, absolutely. Everyone that's here is family, dude. Everyone that's here is family. All right. Well, dang, man.
Hey, Emily. Hey, Bruce.
Dude, it's
Wow.
Batman. Bruce Wayne is here? Batman.
Whoa.
It's Batman.
Guys, we actually have
Mike makes
friends.
me nervous.
We have
Oh,
friends.
Jeremy. Okay, so Jeremy, I tell you what, that dude, he will watch the show and hit us up during the show,
What's up,
making
bro?
comments as he's watching it to us when we're already done with it. It's the best. It's so
I gotta
awesome.
not watch the comments.
Yeah, I've never had one person in my life call me the C word more
The Jeremy. That's a
conversation
term of endearment.
than Jeremy.
Well, my friend, it is 7. We got people talking.
All right, hey,
I
let's.
think it's time to play that
yeah.
shit.
You guys ready? You guys ready to do
Let's
this?
roll. Let's do it.
Gentlemen, if you've heard the show before, it starts in 3, 2, 1. Welcome back to Get With the Programming. I'm Chase Ingram.
I'm Captain America.
And along with me is Bill Grundler.
Wolverine.
And we have a very special mega episode of our 2018 Mount Rush Moments. We are bringing in our boys from the games floor, MCs Larry, Mike, Breton, and we're on YouTube Live for the first time. I don't even know if we're doing it right.
Dude, we were testing on the moment. We're like, please someone say something so we
Every
know
time
that it
I've said
works.
that comment.
No idea what the heck we're doing. Dude, so
Nice.
stoked you guys are here.
I'm just
So
gonna face
stoked.
it. I'm so glad we're doing this.
Glad
Yeah.
to be here.
Yeah.
So stoked to be here with you guys.
This would be so much epically worse if we were in person. Like, it could already get...
Oh man.
I have no idea. My wife is like, how long is this going to be? I was like, don't ask me that question.
I'll see you tomorrow morning.
Because I don't want to get pigeonholed into a time. I also don't want to lie to you. I'll be home. I'll take care of the kids in the morning. But other than that, I have no promises that I can actually make you.
I FaceTimed Chase earlier and she was just in the background like, this is already bad. Like, I want this to be over with.
Our daughter kept us up quite often last night. She's teething, so it was a long night for her. And yeah, so might be a long night for me. Who knows? All I know is we're here. This is when we did the 2018 Analyzing the Programming, or at least when it was coming up, you know, me and Bill were like, 2018 was a special year because this was really the last year we all were kind of together.
Yeah.
Because, you know, we
Totally.
left 2018 in this super high, and we were just talking about it off chat. It was like, hey, we'll see you next year, right? When it's like open, we would get together, and regionals and games, and those are special times for us. And even more special though is like we used to get together on some of the off-season competitions, and that's really where a lot of our roots kind of dug in. I mean, Wadapalooza was the one that really, I thought, brought us all together in so many wonderful ways.
Speaking of, I was looking for old pictures and footages, and one of the ones that came up. Remember, I like did the spread, and you zoomed in on me on the camera, and I like got in this like weird power stance in the middle of Wadapalooza. You guys thought that was so funny. It wasn't funny.
That's your thing, man. The Breton power spread.
That's it. That was the Breton power stance. You were like a buffalo stance, man. It was awesome.
Well, and I remember we were all at Granite Games, and that was the first time, Brent, and I want to say that was the first time we all really were together, wasn't it? Granite Games?
Yeah.
15?
Yeah.
2015?
I think it was
Something like
16.
that, yeah.
I think it might have been
15 or
16.
16.
Yeah.
Yeah, 16.
Well, and
15.
And I remember like that picture, and I think Chase, you put it up there. I'm like, dude, who's that young kid? Who's that punk ass kid with the, like, do people still shave their head around and leave the long hair on? Like, I didn't even know that was still a thing. Oh, apparently it is still a thing. Look at
Still
that.
rocking it, baby.
Going on.
I just saved the middle.
Right. I'm like, I swear I saw that on Joe Dirt. I don't know what the heck. But man, dude, we've had so many memories. Like, and I'm not talking just on the floor and all the stuff we've done, but like what's been always so fun with our group is the in between the heats, before the show, before the event starts, after the event starts, and all the shenanigans that happen in between that. is, I mean, here we are, like we do our real life stuff and like it's real stuff. I mean, like, you know, Larry's over there battling the world and, you know, living on, he's got hamsters going around in little things right now, trying to generate some power for that light that he's got on him right now.
Not untrue. Not untrue.
We all get together and I swear to God, it's like summer camp. We're like a bunch of 13-year-olds, you know, laughing at farts and stupid shit like that. It's so funny. Like, I mean, and I'm really not 51. I mean, I go to those things and I swear to God, I'm 14. It's so funny.
My face already hurts.
I can't stop smiling. I can't stop smiling already.
Hey,
I see myself. I'm like,
before we even start this, can we just crack our drinks? We gotta crack our drinks. We gotta.
I need a Larry countdown for this one, though. I need a Larry countdown.
Here we go.
Down.
3, 2, 1, go!
Yeah.
That was nice.
Yeah.
That was nice.
Yeah.
And
cheers, fellas.
Cheers, gentlemen. I'm hitting the boxes.
Ding, ding.
It's a good day.
Oh, wow.
I'm shitting on your lighting for the
Dude, I think you got the best lighting there, Larry. You got like a
yeah.
I
have a 60-year-old lamp, a flashlight, and I have my TV paused on a white screen. That's my light for the show.
Well, you know what? You'd be killing it TikTok style right now because you got like.
And I just want to say, I've been rocking Coors Banquet since before Cobra Kai. So
that's pretty cool, actually. That was my dad's. That was my dad's drink right there.
Billy, you're in your home.
In my tiny home.
Your tiny home.
My tiny home.
Brent, are you at? Is that your new? That's your inside.
So I'm in my house. Well, I'm at my house land. This building is actually outside of my house.
Oh, sweet.
Because I didn't know how rowdy we were gonna get, so I was like, I better get outside just in case.
And then, Mike, where are you?
I'm at home, man. I was working today, and I decided to come home so I could share in a beverage.
Sweet.
And yeah, I'm home.
Yeah, screw that fire stuff.
Down, it was like, now we'll circle back down to Larry. You guys don't understand the lengths Larry has gone to get onto the show today because Larry's in Lake Charles. And I don't know if anybody who's been aware of the news over the last couple of weeks with hurricanes, but Larry doesn't exactly have electricity at the moment.
Yeah, it's
the hamster
pretty. That's the hamster wheels Bill talking about a second ago. It's pretty archaic down here. For those that are tuning in that don't happen to be aware, yeah, we had a pretty massive Cat 4 hurricane August 24th. It took about 6 weeks to recover from that to some extent, and then we had another hurricane, a Cat 2 Hurricane Delta, that came through. Two totally different storms. One was a complete wind event. The first one. I've never seen so many trees, roofs, houses. It looks like a combat zone. The second hurricane was a water event, a rain event. Matter of fact, the window right here over my shoulder faces the east, and it was a team effort to try and keep as much water from coming in that window as we could because the seals failed on the window from the first storm. Crazy. Oh, and no power. So that's. Let's see, going into our first week of the second storm with no power. If that makes
sense. It all generators? Is that what you guys are doing?
Yep.
Jeez.
We logged the first storm. We personally logged 684 hours of generator time, which works out to about 29 days. And so far on this one, the power went out last Friday, and here we are Wednesday night, still no power.
So, well, in that picture, that picture you sent out with all the tarps all over everybody's roofs and stuff like that, that satellite shot, nuts.
That was pretty crazy. I'm sure there'll be another one from the second storm because about half of those ended up completely torn off. Damn. So you had folks that just got brand new roofs Thursday afternoon. The second hurricane hit on Friday and it destroyed the shingles from their roof that they just had put on. So it's been a wacky, crazy deal. We lost our SWAT building, which was also CrossFit breach and hold. It collapsed in on itself, so we've kind of been relocated to a temporary home. So we're a SWAT team without a gym right now, and as you guys know, that creates can create a lot of friction. So there's a lot of working out going on in odd places right now to keep everybody squared away, myself included.
Crazy.
Well, dang, man,
it's kind of
making the effort. I'm glad we could all get together.
And like I said, I have a really cool microphone and a laptop and really no internet right now. So just it kind of is. I got a freaking tin can with a string stretched to Dallas to connect to Chase, and here we are.
Oh man. Dude, we got people from New York, Chicago, Australia.
Wow.
This is
awesome.
so cool. You guys are awesome.
It might be might need to turn this into a regular thing now.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll put my dog outside.
Is that what that is? Okay, I was wondering.
She's right here. I think it's my dog snoring is what you're hearing.
Oh my
Really?
God.
Like a high-pitched squeal snore.
That's it. That's it.
I'm texting everybody off chat. I'm like, who the
I don't know if I can. Let me see if I can even.
What is that noise? Okay, show us. Yes, it's your damn dog.
Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, she's cute, you know.
Like, put her in the bathroom or something.
I'm just gonna like slide her out to the next room.
Please.
Give her a little kick.
Hey, Annie, get up.
Oh man.
You should have seen the look she just
I
shot
was like, there's a weird noise. There's a weird noise, guys. It's not going to sound good on the podcast. And it's this Frenchie that's just ass off.
Of course it's me. Of course it's me.
It is you.
Sounded like somebody was getting murdered for a second.
I was like, am I hearing this? Is this
She
me?
looks so pissed right now.
It's like, hey, okay. Let's get into what we're here for.
Oh, you made a drink? Okay, hold on. Let me.
Yeah. One more.
There we go.
Okay.
Okay, good.
So, Mount Rush moments. If you guys haven't heard it before, we tail this and we couple this with our analyzing the programming. So the idea for analyzing the programming is we look at what the games did event by event, how it stacked up versus the test, who won, who lost, how they do. Hello from South Carolina. And for this one, this is all the stories that we want to tell that would have made that episode 6.5 hours long, and we save it for this. And so this is our top 4, no particular order, favorite moments, memories, and stories of the CrossFit Games. In 2018 being the last time we were all together, we wanted to get everybody together and have a fun mega episode of our best and favorite moments. I don't know who to go first. I'm actually nervous about what some of you guys are gonna do. So, is that? I'm still hearing.
Is that? I hear. Is she drinking water? What is that?
You have.
I thought my roof was leaking. I didn't know what that was.
I kicked her off her bed and she walked right over to the water bowl and just started lapping up gallons of water. I don't even know what to do.
It's amazing. Your mic picks up literally everything right now.
Jesus.
Literally everything. Like, I hope you don't fart, dude, because that will definitely come out if we're picking up her drinking water.
All right, let's do this by me and Bill will go. What is it? This is 18. So I'll go last.
Okay.
No, you go last.
Let me go. All right, I'll go last. Whatever. I'll go first because I can get everyone started. Let me go first. I'll get everyone started.
Oh, okay. So I didn't. You said you didn't have anything written down. So
well, I had one. I had a handful, but I mean, I kind of wanted to let it roll, so I didn't want to go specific. But I can get a good start one.
Okay.
I can get a good start one.
All right. Then Bill will go first, and let's do this. We'll go order of entry. Was it Larry, Mike, Brenton? Brent, were you?
I think I was last.
Last? Okay, so we'll go Bill, Larry, Mike, Brenton, me. As I
Sure.
And
yeah, do that.
Mike
do
A
that.
would be his dog interjecting for. All right, Bill.
All right. So
Oh, Bill.
what?
It's like you've completely forgotten. Were you about to start?
No,
You weren't about to start?
not yet. No,
You said, oh, so.
no,
As if we don't have the greatest introduction.
no. I said so. Play your music,
Okay,
bro.
fine.
Play your music.
I will. Right
Play it.
now. So before we start, I had a friend who was listening to this at work, and this song came on, and like someone down the hall was like, "What the hell are you listening to?" It's like, "I'm sorry, it was too loud. This is a show." All right, Bill, lead us off with your very first Mount Rush moment for 2018.
All right. So we come from all over the place when we go to the games. You know, Chase is coming from Dallas. I'm coming from California. Everyone else just kind of filters their way in. And for whatever reason, Mike always decides he wants to drive to Madison. He's like, you know what? I love my car. It's a 9-hour drive or whatever, 12-hour drive, something stupid like that. And he's like, you know what? I just love driving it. And you know what I really like is I put my coffee pot in there. I got my coffee. I got it all set up. And he told us about, I mean, we knew about this before, but he's like, you know, everyone's kind of filtering in and we all kind of get there. And Mike turned his room into the CrossFit summer camp, like cafe. So you'd go there and he'd be like, oh, what can I get for you? Can I get you a latte? Would you like a latte? Maybe a little espresso, maybe a straight cup of coffee. And I'm like, dude, you got everything. I mean, he had everything set up. He has his little deals there. He's like, you know, prepping the grounds and getting all set up and like handing you like your drink, like barista style. And I was like, it's the sickest thing ever. We got our own. I mean, because you know how we are about coffee. I mean, we talk about coffee every show because we do the show in the morning most of the time. So we talk about that all the time. And then here he is. He brings his own setup to the games, and it was so sick. It was so awesome. Like I remember that was so. And we all would hang out there, dude. We'd all hang out there. It was awesome.
And it really, I mean, let's be honest, it's not a coffee machine. You know what I mean? It's not a Mr. Coffee Pot. You know what I mean?
It wasn't a Nescafe.
That's true. It's a Jura.
Not a Nescafe.
So for all you coffee heads out there, you know, it's a Jura Impreza. Okay.
It was still pretty dang cool, dude.
It's freaking awesome. I love my coffee machine. So
yeah.
Hey,
did you ever come up with the name?
Yes.
I mean, I know what was the name of the cafe?
Crap. It was the room number.
Yeah,
it was
Cafe
the room number.
124.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, like
that's right.
Cafe 124 or something like
124.
that.
I'm telling you, it was 124. I remember.
Dude. Cafe 124. Yep.
Oh,
that's my first one right there. Boom.
That was fun. And I had whole whipping cream there too for you.
Yes, you did. Yes, you did. And people that like would help me out with like the coffee, like we had our runners and stuff like that, going to get coffee different times. Of all the different years, they always knew, shit, Bill needs heavy cream.
Yep.
Like they all knew that. And I was so thankful for that. I needed that. Needed to have that shit. Well, you know, Sean, he says all the time, he would ask me, hey, did you get your heavy cream? I'm like, yeah, bro. I'm like, okay. He's like, okay, good. Because then you know we have a good show.
I remember, I don't know, I think it was actually at Granite Games. I don't want to derail you, which is normally what I do, is derail. But I remember there was a coffee pot somewhere, maybe at Granite Games, and I said, man, I need something. I was like, man, I need some cream. And I was like, oh, here's some cream. It was like maybe in the media room or suite. And somebody's like, don't touch that. That's Bill's. I'm like, whatever. They're like, he's serious. Don't touch that. I used it, but you know, not a lot.
Dick.
So. You guys has your own creamers and everything. It was great.
I mean, you know, I'm not that much of a diva, but maybe sometimes.
It's nice. It's a good perk.
You know.
I like
Next.
That. Good way to start. With all right, Larry.
All right. Yeah, I'll tell you what, guys. I'm going to take us a little farther back than the games. I'm going to take us back to the last regional that we were all together. Or at least a group of us were together. And I believe we were in Florida. Chase, Bill, myself, Tanya. There was a group of us, and Sean Woodland. I remember post regional events, us by the pool, and I remember the conversation went something along the lines to Sean of, no matter what, we need to do this again here with these exact same people, because this is the best it's ever been. And Sean said, "You damn right, that's what we're going to do." And that was kind of the last conversation we ever had about regionals. We never had another one after that. And I'll never forget that conversation. And more importantly, I'll never forget the feeling when we wrapped of how good that regional went. And honestly, that flowed right into the 2018 games also. Yeah. I mean, just, you know, I think we could all agree. And we said it. I think it was the pinnacle. Coming off of a regional season, it was the best games we'd had.
Oh yeah,
and that's my memory of us. That and the crazy workouts we did in the hotel. It was a whole lot of stuff.
Dude, the Swelltail workout.
The Swelltail workouts. I just did the Swelltail workout at the new SWAT building the other day. They're like, one of the Swelltails that you just posted on I can't remember what the site was on Instagram, but I put it up on the board, and the guys were like, "Swole tail." It was like, it's a hotel workout, guys. It was the dumbbell lat workout.
Push-ups.
I think it was push-ups and dumbbell rows.
Yeah,
if I'm not mistaken, it was like 3, 3, and 3.
Workout it's like gone viral. It's so weird.
Yeah,
It was terrible. We did it. It was
the
surprisingly
name is
horrible.
cool.
Yeah.
That was
The name
a
is
good
cool.
flash pump.
Well,
Well, don't Google that. Don't Google that.
That was the whole intent, man. That was the whole intent. We're like, hey, we're gonna go out by a bunch of CrossFitters. Hey, let's go work out real fast, just to get an arm pump on, because I can't go out there with an arm pump. It's like there's CrossFitters out there, man. You know,
Gonna go on camera with a loose shirt.
I might need to have a medium shirt, medium girl's shirt. That's never happened before for anybody. Right?
Oh no! Don't do that. That's Cole, man. He's not even here to defend himself.
Hey, it wasn't his fault. It was all right. It wasn't his fault.
Oh man! All right, Mike, you're up.
I was gonna try to go with actual game stuff. You guys are reminiscing and like talking about moments and stuff, man.
You guys had the best seats in the house, dude. So if you have game stuff, I'm gonna bring some game stuff. It's all right.
Well, I mean,
I literally did a whole episode and never once talked about the competition.
I don't have much. And what's funny is, you guys are really good historians, because I feel like I watch and MC at the same time, but it doesn't like sink in, and I don't remember much of it because you're just on to the next one or on to the next one. But there's certain moments, of course. I remember watching the biking event in 2018. That was kind of cool because we just had a lag in our schedule. Brent and I were in the Age Pavilion. I don't even know if they called it the Age Pavilion in 2018. Maybe they did. Yeah, they did. But I do remember one of the moments that I remember for the Masters competition was, hopefully I'm not going to steal it for Brenton, was Neil Maddox. So there was a really tight race there, a couple well-known athletes, and Neil Maddox decided that was it. And the last event, I cannot remember if he won that event. I believe he won that event. Took his shoes off, his nanos, and just laid them at the finish line. And was like, I'm done.
Someone knows how to do that.
Yeah, he was just like, took him off, and he just said, that was it. I'm done. And I'm like, and they just sat there, and I'm like, dude, like I just got chilled. I'm like, what? Like, I remember reporter Nikki, she just started like bawling. Like he hugged her. Like I got so many. Like one of the Sean Ramirez at one point picked me up, which is not an easy. He's a strong guy, but not an easy feat. Those guys.
He had an advantage though.
Yes, he did. Whoa.
I don't know if that's going to be that kind of podcast, but burn. But yeah, man. But I thought that was really classy. I thought that was really cool.
Yeah, that was pretty sweet.
Yeah, Neil competed his butt off that weekend too, so that was cool. There's some cool moments in with the Masters and the teenagers that a lot of people don't get to see. So
yeah. Now for those that don't know the symbolism behind the shoe thing, Bill, will you explain that?
Yes, I will, because that comes from the wrestling realm. When a wrestler is done competing and they decide that they're going to retire, they don't go get on some microphone and make some big announcement about like, well, I think it's been a long time and blah, blah, blah. They don't do that. They finish their last match, whatever that is. They take their shoes off and they put them down, boom, right on the mat, and they walk off. And that's how they end their career as a competitive wrestler, competitive whatever it is that they're doing. The first time I ever saw in CrossFit, anything like this happen was Chris Spieler. Should have happened, and I was bummed because when he was done, and I think it was in the double banger, I think he had to do well on that. He didn't. That was his last event, or triple banger. This was the first time he retired.
Oh,
and he said he was done because there were cuts after that.
Oh, I didn't know he did the Brett Favre thing.
Yeah, and he didn't do it, and I was pissed because I'm like, Chris, man, you're you're a wrestler. This is what you did. And you didn't leave your shoes there. And like, I was almost like hurt on the inside that he didn't do that. Like as a wrestler, I wanted to see that, So, there have been a handful of athletes that have done that. I saw Stacy Tovar do that.
Yep.
I saw, the fact that Neil Maddox did that, that was awesome. And you're right. It is very touching to see something like that. Cause it's like, they're like, I'm out. And they just slowly come back. And I just think that's such a respectful way to go. If you're going to go, it's cool.
Cool. I like that. That's good.
And he really did. He tried to walk off. I think the media team got a hold of him, some camera, and they kind of corralled him back. But he legitimately put his shoes and started walking. They're like, no, you got to wait. And he didn't want to talk. He didn't want everything. He just wanted to go.
You're going to have to talk to people. You just won the competition. I'm sorry.
Yep.
Yeah, that's a good one. Again, the things we'd like to see come back to the forefront, hopefully with the new regime here, and they highlight the masters and teens more. Brian Friend had a great story about his dad going to the CrossFit Games and seeing men in his age group do things he didn't think was possible for men in his age group. And I feel like that's the story for tens of thousands of people that needs to be highlighted again. So I really like that. All right,
yeah.
Brenton, you're up, brother.
All right, man. I've got 3 stat-driven ones and 1 funny one. I'm going to save the funny one for a little bit later.
No pressure.
But the first one I'm going to use today is actually me and Larry called the Central Regional together. Okay. And if you remember, Matt Fraser not decided, but he was competing in the Central Regional that year. And it was the first time, to be completely honest, it was the first time I got to see him up close and personal, and definitely the first time I got to call like specific events for Matt Fraser.
I already remember this conversation.
And so if you guys remember, the first event that weekend was the 333. So it was the 3,000 meter row, 300 double unders, 3 mile run. By the way, the most boring. Can we cuss on here? Can you cuss on here?
You can say whatever you want, dude.
Well, I mean, let's.
Okay. It was really effing boring to call.
Boring AF.
That's what the kids say.
I'm just saying it had a 49-minute cap. So we had some time. All right. So long story short, Fraser got 9th place. And I pulled Larry to the side after he went, and I went, he's not that impressive. Just like a rookie, right? He's not that good. And me and Larry's like, just wait. And I'm like, he's not that good. Just so you guys know, he swept the rest of the weekend. Literally got first on every single workout. So I'll never forget that.
Like a Michael Jordan moment. He like heard that and he's like, and then I took it personally.
Dude, seriously. I just remember like watching him run, like kind of seeing him, and I'm like, he's okay. And then it was just like by the end, Larry, do you remember at the end, I literally couldn't even say anything because I felt like such an idiot. I was just like,
and then you went, hey, Larry, where do I turn in applications for a desk analyst for CrossFit HQ? Because I really think that Tommy needs to be out. I should really take that spot.
Yeah, I remember you telling me like, hey man, this Matt Fraser, I just don't see the hype, man. I just don't. I'm like, just hey man, it's one event. Just give him a minute, give him a little bit of time, and then he won like the next several events. You were like, well, all right, I guess maybe there's something there. But
I think the final
weekend.
Chase and Bill, you guys will probably know better than I will, but I think one of the final events wasn't it like the thruster rope climb maybe, or I remember the dumbbell step over one as well. I just feel like he was looking at me during the dumbbell step over workout.
He probably was. He does that.
Somebody told him.
I heard that conversation. But, so that's my first moment.
The funny thing is I can totally see you doing that and picture exactly. Nah.
I'm
not impressed, bro.
I mean, how many conversations have we had over text where those kind of not about Matt, but like those kind of things have come up and you're all, no, that dude, nope, out. Brandon's like there's no second guessing. He's like, boom, there. My opinion, boom, there it is right there. Take that.
You can.
I was totally wrong. Oh, Okay, well, just get me on the next one. Get me on the next one.
That's where love it.
Let's be honest, though. I learned that from Chase. I didn't learn that from anybody else.
I was like, I've had a few of those back in my on Worldwide.
You probably didn't pick Matt, but
if you know Chase, like if you watch him, like let's say if it was CBS or ESPN or the live stream, you can see in his face too. Like, man, he's about to say some shit that is not gonna go over well. But it's like, I cannot wait to hear this. But there's gonna be strategy behind it. There's gonna be like some stats maybe, but it's just your opinion, and that's what they put you there for. Like that's or roughly, but that's why like Brenton's funny, man, because Brenton's like, dude, I'm a dope athlete. I'll just say it right now. I'm not impressed. And I'm like, but he'll own up to it, like, he did all right. I'm like,
that's
okay. I won't say none of that stuff because I know where I stand. So I don't say none of that.
Larry, you should have pulled out your flip phone and got that on camera.
I would have just had to sketch him. Just hold on. Still.
The old jitterbug.
Well, the light's not right.
Jitterbug.
Yeah. That's these things. Yeah, I don't. At 50.
Those
just
bottle caps.
Oh, I know, my friend. I know. I hear you.
Dude.
Okay.
You should. All right. So a quick work story to go along with the getting old thing. I do a lot of tactical stuff now. I don't make a lot of traffic stops. So here during the hurricane, I had to get out. I got out with the guys and we were hustling. We were making traffic stops. And we were doing the Lord's work and made a traffic stop. And my glasses were on my desk because I just needed to read. Get the guy's license. I take 2 steps away from the car and go, one of you young guys read that for me. So I'm like, shit, all right, I can't make traffic stops anymore. Not without my glasses.
That's good.
I love Larry is probably one of my favorite guys to work with, has been from day number one. So because he just kind of took me under his wing. Come on, little fella. I said little, but but the last few years, there's been a change in Larry and I. So let's say we get our reading material for the events and we send it back. Can you blow this up a little bit?
Yeah.
Can you guys, we need this a little bit bigger font maybe or something bold. I mean, it's just, they put that stuff on there so small.
Dude, I hear you on that. I've been to some events and they go, hey, what we did is we highlighted these in red. I'm like, I can't see the font in there. I just see a red box. That's not cool, man. Come on now. Man, I hate saying that, but
I don't know. Bill's
it is what it is.
Yeah, exactly. You don't have a problem at all.
My favorite part with Mike and Larry. So if you guys are just listening to this, is like they are gentlemen that are follically deficient. Which
save that. Hold on, Chase, save that. I don't know what you're about to say, but just save it. Trust me. Just save it. Just
oh boy,
save it.
I'll save it. Okay.
I appreciate that.
So one of my other things is we're probably talking about the same thing. I don't know.
We're gonna find out. Okay. Chase, do you remember when you pissed off the whole state of Missouri?
Dude, that was in my rush moments of, what was it, 16?
Yeah, we talked about that one. Yep.
Wasn't it your first games?
Yeah, it was my first games, and it was my home gym.
Yeah.
And I just remember having 15 text messages like, F this guy. This Chase dude sucks. He doesn't know what he's talking about. And I literally just walked upstairs like, Chase, what did you say?
And I was like, what are you talking about, bro?
What, bro?
Told Brenton's home gym's team that they sucked.
Yeah.
No, you said
no. It was
if you're
going to be a super team, you actually have to be super. You actually have to win an event
to be good at something or something. Like it was like
you have to be good.
Awesome.
There's shots fired. Well, I know that much.
I'm happy. You're not any good. All right.
You're up. You're up.
My number one. So my number one deals with before the competition happened. And usually we'll get in there a day before or a day or 2 days. Sometimes we're like, I was like, why do you have to go so early? I'm like, I don't know. They just said I got to be there. I don't know why. They're forcing me. I was like, because I wanted to get there 5 days early. That's not true. Nah, it is true. But so I land and Mike's like, hey, he texts me. He's like, what are you doing? I'm like, nothing. He goes, all right, come to it's like the hotel where all the athletes stayed, but it's on a lake. There's like 4 different lakes in Madison. And he goes, we're wakeboarding. get on the boat. And I was like, what?
I remember that.
So
Rad.
I think I went to the hotel, dropped
Yep.
my bags, Ubered to this dock, and there's no one to be found. And I think Mike's like FaceTimes me. And who are you on there? What was it?
Dylan.
Was it just us two?
I'm pretty sure it was just them. Yeah. Because I was
Yeah,
getting the
Dylan-
pictures
and
too.
Dylan and I rented a boat.
It's
And
so
we'd like go to the back behind the hotel.
yeah. So Mike comes and I just landed. I have maybe been in Madison for an hour. And I go to this dock with an empty lake, and I just see this speedboat coming up. And then like Mike pulls up, I jump on, and we start wakeboarding. And so it's been a while, and I can at least stay up. And so we were going, and there's two stories from this. Is one, there were storms in the area at the time. And I'm talking like legit rainstorms with spatterings of lightning. And there's one point in time we're like, hey, the lake was so big and the storms were so small, you could see the rain pockets. And so we were like, hey, I don't want to reel it in and I don't want to put my board back on. I'll just ride through the storm to the next open patch. So I probably rode for a good 10 minutes through a rainstorm with lightning to get to an open area so we could wakeboard more. And then once we did that, it was Dylan's turn. And when it became Dylan's turn, Dylan is one of our MCs and he's one of our buddies. He tried to, we hit some chop. I'll just say that. We hit some chop. Mike might have turned a little bit too hard in one direction. And you just see Dylan felt good, went from wake into the middle, and then just lost control. And by lost control, I mean he towed it, and he hit the water so hard. So hard. Like so hard.
Real hard.
Immediately like turned the boat off. Not, I wonder if he's okay. It was like, we turned it off and just looked to see if we could see a hand or a foot. And we go over, and he was so messed up from it. But the best part was, I have it on video. I have it on my phone. And I think I have it in slow motion too.
God, this would be great right now. So you cut to the clip.
I'll put it in on the recording.
Oh my God.
You know those memes where like it's a video and then like something bad happens, then it still frames to the moment right before. And there was a moment you could find it where Brenton's board caught, and he just
Dylan's. It wasn't mine. It was
Dylan's.
Oh, Dylan.
Dylan's, and where the end caught, and you could just see his face knew what was about to happen and transpire. And it was just a face full of lake and faster than anyone.
It was so hard.
Like, it was so hard.
Hey,
Normally you laugh, right? When your buddy wipes out, like, oh, it's hilarious. He hit so hard, and we're like, oh, shit. We just killed Dylan.
Can you imagine if he wouldn't have been able to MC that weekend? Are you kidding me?
Throat so hard, he lost his voice.
He hit so hard. I think, number one, the wakeboard came off, but I think it knocked him out of the life jacket. Remember? It was something weird where like the life jacket almost all the way came off him. He hit so hard. Like,
Dude.
It was the craziest thing. I mean, now Chase, you ate it pretty hard a couple times too.
Yeah, I did. Well, I was like, when I wakeboard for one summer, and by the end of the summer, I could do like a back flip from wake to wake. And that was the last time I wakeboarded. So this was like 5 years later. And I was like, I still got this. And I would try to pull in hard, and then I totally bailed as soon as the wake came, and I pushed out. But there's a couple times where I didn't quite have my balance, and like, did I rupture an eardrum? Did I just Miko Sailor myself from 2000?
I mean, we didn't even have a wakeboard boat. Like, I mean, we're like, it's like bungee corded onto the back of like a fishing boat. You know, I mean, we were like, it just wasn't good. Let's not even talk about the hour that I tried to even get up on the thing. Like, it just wasn't happening.
Not enough power on the boat, or what was happening there?
What
What the heck are you talking about? You couldn't get for an hour.
Smoke started coming out of the back of the boat. This thing, no way, please stop. I'm like, dude, it's not enough power. They're like, come on, just try again. And they're just like, this is hilarious. That's the only reason they wanted me to keep trying. It just wasn't happening.
That wasn't the worst thing that happened to Mike that day because he got pulled over by the police. The boat police pulled us over.
Oh, that's right.
Because he was speeding in a wake zone.
Are you wanted in Madison, Mike?
Seriously.
I might have been.
They wanted to shut down Cafe 124.
He was pretty mad, man. He was like, "You get over there." I'm like,
oh, man.
He was pretty mad.
But that was a cool moment because the best part was, the storms and the wipeouts and whatever. But I think it was the slow ride in.
That rain hurt.
It was just a cool. The sun came out and it was really nice, and that was a fun moment where I was like, man, I can't believe this is part of my job. Right? This is part of my job. I get to hang with my friends. The games are about to start. Like 2018, like this is going to be a magical year, and it ended up being a magical year. I couldn't believe that was the last one we'd have until now. So that's my first one.
That was good.
All right, that's good, dude. That's good.
Number
Actually,
2.
I remember on that, I remember you guys were all doing that, and I was coming in later, and I was pissed.
Same. I remember getting all the pictures and videos, just pissed off.
I'm like, oh, really? Damn it.
Like the way I am, so we talked about this a little bit in the last episode, is like, and you guys can attest to this, all of you, is that when we go to restaurants, my food orders always
Brussels sprouts.
Brussels sprouts. Brussels sprouts, yeah.
My GP Brussels sprouts with my extra side of chicken. MFer. But as bad as that is for me, Bill and travel. Like,
oh yeah.
The worst.
So well.
That's
Yeah.
Whatsoever. I don't know what it is.
When you travel a lot and for whatever reason, you just have to make a lot of stops, whatever, there's the chances of something going wrong just increases. I mean, I probably could be like Mike and be like, you know what, I'm just going to drive. It's going to be a 53-hour drive. I'm just going to drive instead. But I would rather not do that.
Hey, the car comes in handy. The truck comes in handy.
No, it does. I mean, you plug your coffee machine into it and everything, and it's pretty dang amazing for sure. Yeah, I have bad luck with traveling. I do. But I don't know if it's impressive of myself, or I don't know if I just have blown it off by now, is that I don't get pissed off when shit is getting all messed up. Like, I will always be the one that's coming in at like 12:30 a.m. when we have to get up at 6 a.m. the next day, and I don't have any of my stuff yet. And I'm like, hey, Chase, can you grab the stuff or go to the meeting and find out what's going on here, what's going on there? And I mean, even if I plan on going a day early, it never works out that way. Planes are always late for whatever reason. They got to paint the wing or something. I don't know. But I'm always getting held up. But I was so pissed that you guys were all wakeboarding, and I was like, shit.
But conversely, Larry always gets like the 4 a.m. flight. You're coming in at the latest flight ever, but Larry's always got to leave at like 4 a.m. or 6 a.m. or something.
Yeah.
Usually coming in is not bad. Flying to the event, I'm usually kind of in the mix with everybody else, but coming back,
you're always the first out. You're always the first out.
It's that silly work thing, just having to get back and
Larry
retirement job.
I'm coming in from
totally
the after party.
What?
Yeah.
I was gonna say, you know how many times I saw him?
Legitimately.
I was gonna say goodbye to him, so that's good.
I think I passed all of you in the hotel lobby on my way to the airport as you are coming in from the after party. So.
Oh man, it's funny.
That's why I tell you just to stay out with us, Larry. You'd be fine.
That's bad. That's
bad juju, man. I may or may not have done that a couple times at regionals, and it never really worked out.
Never worked out in your favor.
No, drooling on the plane. It's just as bad.
Okay, I'm up. My number 2. So CrossFit always gets smashed by whenever we add some event, something that is not our normal barbells and whatever stuff. The Olympic weightlifters for a while, they didn't like what we were doing because of how dare you take our sport and bastardize it, whatever. We see that, they throw swimming in there, and then swimmers are just laughing at what they see which was legit laughable stuff. I mean, we weren't good at that time.
I was like, you talk shit about it all the
No,
time.
all the
bro.
time, 100%. No, I get it. But a very proud moment that I had being part of the media crew is when they did the crit. And so here's the crit, a very specific road race type of thing. You have, I mean, they put them on good bikes. They had, we talked about this in our show about when we analyzed the programming. Clipped in shoes, they had the right helmets, they had all the right equipment. They had professional riders that were teaching them how to go into the turns and all these different things. And a lot of the athletes now have done triathlons and they've been on a bike a while. And I was really curious to see how these guys and girls would handle a very technical race. And it was a fun race. I mean, there were breakaways, there were equipment malfunctions, there were people actually understanding the idea of drafting and working in a pack. And there was a lot of behind the scenes, which, I mean, we didn't really know about it at the time specifically, but the behind the scenes, there was a lot of the athletes that were talking about, they would secretly go up to people and be like, hey, let's draft, let's work a couple laps together so we can make jumps. So there was like, everyone got it, which was really, really cool. So on the athlete side, that was really cool. But what I was hearing was after the broadcast that we did, the cycling enthusiasts, the cycling magazines, the cycling, we're putting information out, putting comments out about how good of a job we did and how it looked at the CrossFit Games. So it wasn't the cycling world going, how dare you think for a moment that you're a cyclist? It was, wow, they rode great. The coverage was awesome. The way it was called was great. And so I just felt really, it was kind of like, and there was a lot of those moments in the 2018 year. I mean, because it was such a good year. There were so many positive things that were happening, but like that was one of those broadcasts where it wasn't like hey, screw you guys, we did what we were supposed to do. It was like, oh, thanks, guys. Like, I felt so good. And me and Sean would kind of look at each other afterwards when we saw those comments coming up. It was like, dang, man, that was good. We made it look good, and that wasn't our realm. I mean, how often do CrossFitters get on a road bike to race? And how often do we talk about that? That was the first time, basically. I mean, other than cyclocross, so that was a very a real proud moment. And that was right out of the gate. And that really started, at least on our end, on the broadcast side, a lot of really good feelings about what this year was going to be and what we were doing, and the dance that we have between what the cameras are showing and what we're calling and what we're able to say and what the athletes were doing and how, I mean, you guys I don't know if you guys know this, the UMC guys, but if we can't see certain things, you guys are our eyes and ears. So we are always listening to what you guys are saying and using that, because people at home don't know that. So you are like the extended eyes and ears. So if we can't see something because it's on the backside of this lap or whatever, we would hear you guys saying who's doing what or where this person is, or even if it's just like so-and-so's in the lead and so-and-so's doing this or whatever, we would use that all the time. And it was like such first event, and it just meshed perfect. And I was so stoked, and I'm like, oh man, 2018, here we go.
That's gotta be tough. I don't know how some of those events, like the cycle events, the swimming, with the RFID tags, maybe seeing it if it's working or if it's correct on the screen, maybe seeing it like that so you can kind of tell. But it's really hard to see the athletes, and I don't know how you guys do that. And I know from the floor or from the event standpoint, it's probably even harder for us because I know Brendan and I did some of the swimming event in 2018, and I'm like, I got no idea.
Someone's out there.
And then they came out in a cap. They would come out in cap and goggles, and you had no idea who it was.
Oh, you're like, it's going to be a man or a woman. Cap and goggles. Everybody looks the same.
Yeah.
No idea.
Yeah. No, but that was a really good, man, we started off that year and it was like firing on all cylinders and it was fun like that. And that was a fun event for whatever reason. Like we talked about how the cyclocross, like it was a good event, but it wasn't overly exciting really. But the crit was exciting. I mean, it just seemed like everyone kind of got it, which was, I mean, it's not really that different. I mean, I would have thought everyone BMX bike too. So, I mean,
I thought it was really cool. I mean, they were really, some of those curves, the turns, the chicanes, those were legit high speed turns and they were sending it. I mean, they were going for it. I thought it was great. Some it worked out for, some it didn't, but they were going for it. I'm like, that's the way you have to do it. And you could tell earlier on in the day or the day, I can't remember exactly. I was watching them. There was some tutorials with some of those expert riders and things like that. And you could see some athletes really paying attention. There's always some athletes that just sort of hang back and they're like, nah, I'll figure it out.
Yeah.
It doesn't, and that sometimes that proves to be not so great, especially in a very technical thing like that. So but I thought it was great. They were flying around that course. It was awesome.
I think I'll put that on the list of events I didn't think would be cool and ended up being really cool.
Yeah.
Agreed. For sure.
Yeah.
All right. I like that. Larry.
Let's see, to kind of dovetail off of something that Mike said a few minutes ago when he was talking about kind of impressions and feelings, and most of mine are going to be that. And I'm not going to speak for I certainly won't speak for all the MCs. But a lot of what we do, there probably should be a lot of prep work, but we're probably all really guilty of not doing a ton because a lot of our stuff happens like right in the moment. And going from moment to moment like that, and I'm old, so a lot of times I lose a lot of the statistical stuff. I don't remember who won what event. I know who won the games, but so a lot of it's just that feeling, that impression, especially of all of us being together. That's I'm an old softy at heart, and you guys, we're all for sure family. We are that group of, a lot of times folks talk about that one friend they've got, they can pick up the phone, they haven't talked to him in a year, they pick him up and it's like they just talked to him. Well, we have a bunch of people in our crew that are just like that. And we all folks out there, we all keep in contact pretty regularly. It's not just really games related. A lot of times it's stuff you really can't show other people. So anyway, that's a whole different story.
It's like, don't show our text stream ever.
Ooh, no, ever. It's awesome, but
every day.
Yeah. But okay. Anyway, for 2018, and it's an event that folks may or may not have watched it in its entirety. And to be honest, we didn't plan on watching it in its entirety either, and that was the Marathon Row. That matter of fact, we thought we were going to start that. Kiki Dixon, who's one of our floor MCs, part of our crew. Kiki was going to get out there, start it. They wanted the MCs there just in case they needed us for something, and that changed from needing us for something to, hey, you guys are going to call this for a little bit, to you guys are going to call the entire event. And for folks out there that may or may not have seen that, it was a 4-hour time cap, as I remember it, maybe a touch longer. But it was the first and only time I remember that all of the MCs worked together on the same event, 3 and 4 of us at the same time. I have a picture that I came across today of myself, Mike, Brenton, and Dylan Molitsky, all in the pit. We're looking at the monitors from our friends at C2. Greg and Jameson had stuff set up for us to be able to have data and nuggets and stuff to throw out to the crowd and something to talk about. And we worked in shifts, and it has little to do with the event and more to do with the fact that we all got to work together as a much larger team through a very long event. And I thought that was really cool. I thought the event, though very long, looked horrible, but we had a blast. I had a great time in the pit with you guys. It was awesome.
I was the same, and I was telling Chase the exact same thing. I thought it was going to be like when we know we have to call like a 20 to 40 minute event. It's like, oh God, here we go. Okay.
The 50s.
We were setting up for 4 hours.
Yeah.
And for whatever reason, it wasn't bad. Like it was actually for something like for an event where athletes were not moving anywhere. They were literally sitting in one spot, just doing this, and It wasn't bad. Like there was a lot of stuff to call. It was really, and I think I was telling Chase, like you could actually see everything that was in those athletes' head was now outside of their head. If they were pissed, if they were sad, if they were sore, if they had to pee, if someone farted, I mean, all that stuff came out, and you saw all of it, and it was
Sounds
really
like a room. Sounds like a room after an event. All this around.
It was so interesting, and it was way easier than calling like a 25-minute event for whatever reason. It was weird. It was really weird.
Yeah.
I think it's so interesting, man. Like, because you see at the start, you're used to seeing athletes composed. You're used to seeing them, with their game faces on, and you can literally see it in their face, their eyes, their entire body, that like deterioration of their mental state, their body, and then just then they're having to figure out how to get back into the groove and adjust themselves and change up their hands, and it's just a whole process, man. Like just like a marathon runner, but like I think it might be even worse with the row, but like your ass is so sore and people just peeing. And
if you remember, there was a false start too. If I'm not mistaken,
right.
They got going, they got cranking. It went for, man, I don't remember how long they went, but it went long enough for them to kind of settle in just a little bit, and then they had the rower issues. They had to stop everything, reset it, and then we probably had like a 10-minute break before they got started again. And God love Kiki Dixon. Kiki was out on the floor for all that, and she faded all that heat, and she handled it in style and kept everything kind of going. And I remember what I don't ever get scared on the microphone. We're out there in front of 25,000 people, and man, it doesn't matter what happens. Even it could be a false start, it could be an issue on the floor. All that's I'm good with all that. But they wanted us to talk to the athletes while they were rowing, and I was like, I'm not going out there. I'm not. Kiki's like, come on, like, no, you're doing great. You're doing great. No,
it was impressive, man. C2 did an amazing job. It looked like Cape Canaveral with the screens and the wires. I mean, it was like, like some central hub of intelligence. I mean, it was cool looking.
I think that's when I left. It was after the fall start. I'm like, okay,
I'm out.
Going to get a cheeseburger.
Bill, did you guys have any of that data up top? Did you were you looking at the monitors for the C2
we were
stuff
watching,
or no?
Yeah, we were watching the monitors the whole time. So I mean, like the nice thing was they had all the athletes out there. So you had the men and the women all together. So, I mean, you could kind of talk about the guys for a while. You can go over and talk to the girls for a while. But it was, okay, who's rowing different? How fast is this person going? What's the split looking like? How many times has this person stood up and all the pee just dropped off their like shorts? I mean, the amount of that kind of stuff that was going on was so nuts. I think it was easiest because there was so much of that stuff that was happening that it was like shocking. Like why are they gripping? Why is Brent Vikowski gripping the handle like he's doing like an outrigger canoe? He's not doing a row anymore. He's doing like this weird, like the hands are alternate grip, and he's doing this weird kind of leaning off to one hip, and then on the other side you see, Ben Smith, every time he stands up, like all this just whatever the wetness was coming off of him. I mean, tons. And
fecal matter.
Oh my God. It was crazy. So like, I mean, there was a lot of that kind of stuff that, like you normally wouldn't see in something that's only like, 20 minutes. You don't have time to see that. But now you got to see some really weird, like minute little things that ended up being, I mean, if you're the athlete, it's a big deal. And then so we would watch that, and then of course the screen was great. I mean, to see the fact that there were athletes that were 1/3 of the way through, and they're like trying to race, like, oh, I'm gonna catch it. Like, we got another hour and 45 minutes, bro. We're good.
It's legitimately a marathon.
Yeah,
it's not a sprint. It's a marathon.
Yeah. Crazy.
The best video clip was it Stephanie Chung?
Yeah, we talked about that.
Oh my God. And it's like slow-mo in like so many videos. It's just rowing and like,
ew.
It's
the shocking
gross.
fart face.
the pain on her face was brutal.
I'd have quit. Like, that's it.
Oh,
all right, Mike.
Cool, man. I'm gonna keep it real like games. I don't know, just the environment, man. Like there was one night we were just, I don't know if it was before the game started, maybe the night before, something like that. We all went back to the hotel and somebody said, let's go in the hot tub.
And that was one of mine.
Was it? I almost said something else because I think I heard you guys talk about before the cookies.
Oh yeah, that was mine.
The cookies at the hotel.
But the cookies.
But so we went to the hot tub and it just was like really cool, man. I mean, everybody said, screw it, let's just go. Everybody changed, come back to the pool, the hot tub, and we sat and just talked in the hotel or like hot tub and for a couple hours, man. It was just super, super dope, man. Those are those moments that like I'll never give back, just because that's where I really, feel like we really bond and we get to really know each other. We talk business, and sure, it probably was earlier in the week because usually we don't like to talk very much, like while things are going on. But like, yeah, I make that mistake all the time. I just keep talking. But yeah, it was just so cool, man, and laid back. I just love those moments and just kind of hanging out and just really, it is summer camp, man. We say it all the time. I know it gets old, but those are one of those nights that I'll never forget. It's just super fun.
I'm with you. Those are good times. Real good times. It's the stuff it's stuff in between. The things that have nothing to do with anything else, but the personal relationship.
Yeah, no one else is gonna care. They're like, whatever. Who cares about these guys in the hot tub? Bunch of guys in the hot tub.
That's what
wasn't that the place where there's that one couple like making out in the pool and it was super awkward?
Yes,
yes,
that is true.
That's 100% accurate.
I think Dex was there with us.
And how did they not get creeped out by like
they didn't
12
care.
other like
men
all coming in?
It was mainly men.
Oh, what's up?
They did not care. Ling was there as well.
Ling was there.
Yeah,
Ling and
Ling
Nikki
was
were
in
there.
heaven.
Yeah. Ling and
was in
Nikki were
heaven.
there. All right. So see, they kind of even us out a little bit. They kind of,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think they said,
little sprinkle.
all the guys are in the hot tub, so they went and changed. So then we left.
Oh.
I literally feel like I'm sitting at a table with you guys and me and Chase are just looking at each other.
I need a lot of confirmation because you're bottom left for me right now.
You're right next to me.
Because I'm pretty sure we would do that at dinner normally.
Yes.
Yep.
Like, oh, I don't know. All right, Brett, you're up. Number 2.
All right. I'm going to go straight to the funny one because the other two are stat driven, which will be fun when the time's right. But to be honest, I don't want anyone else to take this one. So 2018 was the birth of something very special to all of us. And that was the hashtag the bald and the beautiful. And I can tell you guys, for those of you that can't see us, I am beautiful. And the other two, well,
maybe a little bit bald. Maybe just a little bit.
Hey, man,
no, great
embrace
memories
it.
with that, guys. Like, I'll be honest, you guys are seriously like family and brothers to me. And just the jokes, man, just the little stuff. And like, yeah, maybe it was like joking side jabs, me wearing medium t-shirts. You guys with bald heads, but dude, it really makes the weekend just that much more fun. And I just laugh honestly that much harder. So that was the year that the bald and the beautiful started. And it was it was me and Mike.
But then when you start looking through
the pairings,
the pairings, we have all this humongous group of media staff and MCs, and everybody kind of just works together, whether we're forced to work together as groups or now we have kind of these designated teams. And it just happens to be that one is bald and one has hair and is
so break down the lineup. Let's break them down.
More beautiful.
Break down
Gotta break them down.
The standard pairs. What's
So
our standard pairs?
Kiki and Josh.
Yep. Kiki and Josh.
Obviously the beautiful one. Josh, little bald.
There you go.
And then we have Dylan and Larry.
Bald and the beautiful, the youngster. And then That's it.
I
How
know.
did I not really recognize that setup every single time?
And then me and Mike,
Yeah.
the Bald and the Beautiful was born. 2018.
And if you go into the deep cuts, it was Logan and
Ryan.
And Ryan.
Wow.
I forgot about that
Bald
one.
and Beautiful.
Wow.
It was like a prerequisite.
Yeah, but then you throw Sean in there. Depends on who he's teamed up with.
Yeah.
Bill.
That's right.
Brandon, throw Brandon in there.
That's right.
Brandon and Chase. Oh, that's perfect.
I don't know how it happens, but it's laid out right there.
Brightwell.
That is.
Oh,
wait,
that's right.
Dude.
Dude,
Chase, I missed it. What did you say?
It was me and Jeff Brightwell.
Oh,
Doing
that's
the
good
teams.
too.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
good too.
How is that
Brandon-
possible?
It's hilarious.
How is that possible? That's like a master plan.
How did I never even recognize that?
well, they're like, all right,
Seriously.
let's get some. No offense to anybody out here, you know what I mean. But Larry and I talk about this, and you guys are pretty, but they gotta
Team pretty.
yeah, team pretty. That's what we call you guys, team pretty.
That's great.
Hashtag team pretty. But they gotta have a solid guy. They gotta have a solid person in there. They're really
Can't just be all looks, right?
just got to bring home. You gotta have the veteran in there. You know what I mean? You got to have the solid MC that's just going to make sure everything is good.
That's so.
And
good.
that comes from the ball guy.
Oh,
That's right. You got the rock, and then you've got the roll. So
That's it.
my
Shit,
favorite part between you two, Mike and Larry, was you guys would get so baked in the sun.
Oh, yeah.
Dude.
yeah.
By the end of the day, you guys take your hats off, and I just say, "Well, I know what type of hat you wore today." Really thought the mesh one was the good idea.
That's Larry. Larry always makes that mesh
the little red
mistake.
burn right here with the hat on backwards. Yeah.
Freckles
have
on
the
top of your head and
absolute-
holes in your cap.
I have the absolute best picture. It's from the last year we were at Carson. So for you guys that are up in the booths, you may not know there is an absolute diamond. It was down in the tunnel. There was a huge fan that was on the wall where like the
soccer
HVAC
side.
system. Yeah, on the soccer field. And there was like this HVAC system just blew cold air out of this one spot in the tunnel. And that's where we would go between heats, go there, cool down, get your shirt dried off, and flip your page to the next heat or whatever.
Don't lie. You didn't.
Me-
Your shirt didn't dry off. What are you talking
That shirt didn't
Mine
dry.
never dried off. I have
That
this
shirt didn't
picture.
dry till next week.
Exactly.
I mean, I just changed shirts. Dude, let's not even talk about shirts. Shirt game. But I have this picture somebody snapped of Larry and I, and it had to be later in the weekend or the week because only thing you see is Larry and I's teeth, pretty much. We are so dark. And I cannot even imagine the level of UV damage I've done to myself. I mean, it is so dark. I mean, I got to send you guys it's probably one of my favorite pictures. We're so baked. I don't even think I was sweating at that point because I had a gray t-shirt on. I don't wear gray because of the sweat.
Oh no!
But this thing, I mean, it's a very funny photo. It is so dark, but we're by the fan, man. That's the best spot in the whole soccer field.
Mike, I got a picture that I know you remember. I'll share it I'll send it to everybody if I haven't sent it already. But it's one that Kutcher Miller took of us at the after party. It was like 2016.
Yep.
Yeah, because we had it was our heads paired together like a large set of melons. I'll share it with the rest of I'll share it with you guys.
Melons is a good term. I was
Yeah.
going to go something more phallic, but yeah.
Okay. All right. I went the feminine route, but all right, cool.
Actually, I rather more appreciate that version. So that's good.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
I gotta figure.
Stay there. Dude, Brenton, that's a good one, man.
That's excellent.
Damn.
The iPhone
Wow.
made it easy. I don't know if you guys knew this, but on the iPhone, you can just go back to like the perfect month. And all my stories of me and Mike said bald and the beautiful, bald and the beautiful,
Yep.
bald and the beautiful.
Dang.
It was good.
That's a good one. That is a good one.
It's always like, because he's just, he's got the socks and the laces and like the gear
jorts.
and like the hat or the braids. He's all just and it's just like him all looking like he just is showing up for a modeling gig. and then we're like posing next to each other, but it's just me, usually almost wearing all black all the time, super sunburned, and just pouring sweat. It's just him look like he's in a magazine, and me just a sloppy, sweaty mess. It's so perfect.
People trying to take, excuse me, man beast, can you move to the right? We're trying to take a picture of you.
I know, and it's just like, keep moving to the right, keep moving, keep moving, keep moving. You're like, yeah, that's good. Pose, Brett. I'm like, what about me?
Oh
great.
my gosh.
Perfect. Great memories. Great memories.
So
That was a good one.
okay, so for my second one, I'm gonna stick with the hot tub because this is the hot tub during the marathon row. Because we could have stuck around and watched, and some people got stuck with it, like Bill.
Yep.
And you guys,
Larry, I left.
Yeah.
I left.
It must have been right after the picture.
yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I'm here for the pic. Beautiful's here. We're out.
Bye, beautifuls.
They're like, all right, it started, and we watched the fall start, and I go, nah, I'm not here for this party. And so I go back to the hotel. Brenton, so you were there. Who else was there? I can't remember. Was it just us?
Me and Brenton.
Me and you. Yeah, Dex came with me. That was like, I was going to throw that in there that was the year that me and Dex, like.
But yeah.
What, scissored? I don't know what that was right there. What was that? What was that?
So I just remember it's like we bail. We're like, hey, fellas, love y'all, but not that much. So we leave. And we go to the hot tub, and I think the whole time, me and Brenton and Dex would just send Bill text messages, just, "Hey, us on the hot
I do remember that.
like little videos, like, "How's it going, bro?" It's like we're sitting here chilling in the hot tub, and just trolling.
3 hours later, hey, we're still here.
Look at my pruny face.
Pruny as fuck. What's up?
That's great.
Like we totally bailed on our boys, and we're like, "No, I'm not doing this. Like, we're gonna go hit the hot tub, and we're just gonna troll Bill for the next 3.5 hours."
Bailed on your boys, and then still just sent them videos the whole time. Ha ha! Look at it. Ha! What's up?
I'll be honest. When Larry was telling his story earlier about the picture, I was like having this like guilty feeling in my stomach. Like, yeah, I definitely wasn't there. That definitely doesn't sound like something I'd be a part of, but maybe.
I'm pretty sure you were there. Pretty sure you were the pit. You may have just showed up for the picture. And I'll have to pull it up and look.
That makes me feel
Brenton
better.
likes to bounce. Brenton definitely likes to bounce.
Oh, we good? All right.
Yeah.
Hey, what time we gotta be back? I'm out.
Awards? Oh, no. That's the bald guys.
Again, yes, that is true.
Oh yeah, but I just remember that we're talking about the hot tub was like perfect because we totally just skipped out, went to the hot tub and chilled. It's like I didn't even have to do anything today because it's like individual. Minus I wakeboarded the day before, I'm hot tubbing the day after, and then I get a rest day the next day because they didn't do anything on Thursday. I was like, this is the best job ever.
I remember that.
Get on my friends and then just enjoy this cookie because the hotel is awesome.
Mm.
Oh,
So that was
Those were good cookies.
They were good.
Bill, we're
cookies.
back to you for
All
round.
right, back to me. Kind of tailing off the bald and the beautiful thing. Now, it's not that it's a bald and a beautiful necessarily, but it's an odd couple, if you will. There are two people, so we had our group, and we had, kind of an extended group, people doing YouTube stuff, people doing CBS stuff, people doing interview stuff, whatever. And if you had to pick a partner for Rob Orlando, what would you think would be a paired up partner for the original strongman of CrossFit that is like, and I love Rob. And what's the funniest thing about Rob is he's crude AF. Like the dude just says some dirty stuff and it's hysterical.
It's just a straight line to the truth.
That's
Totally,
it.
100%.
There's
100%.
no flaw.
And it doesn't matter what you're talking about. And so I don't know exactly how it happened, but you pair up this buff, tatted, badass, strong guy with a very thin, slender Canadian interview, Mike Arsenault.
Oh.
And those guys, they would end up in the hot tub. And because like that's what Mike Arson he'd always be like, "Hey, are we spawn? Hey, we hot tubbing? Are we tubbing? Are we tubbing?" What's like all the time. And those two dudes were together all the time. They would crack each other up. They would talk shit to each other. They would be like they turned into this little duo, and it was so funny to watch because I would see Mike getting all like dirty, crude, and then Rob would come right back at it, and they would be back and forth and back and forth. And I literally, it was the most hysterical show to just sit back and be like this.
Yes. Every single
just watch, dude. It was hysterical.
I'd look at him and like, wait, do you guys hate each other's guts or do you like each
Love
other?
each other.
Exactly. Exactly. You never knew which way it was going to go. They told a story about, I don't know what regional event it was or where they were going, where they got stuck in a car together for like 10 hours traveling. And I think that's where either they were going to kill each other or bond. But I agree with Chase. It's like, do you guys like each other or is it about to be a fight? I'm not, because my money's on Rob. I mean, sorry, Mike.
Dude,
you're super flexy.
Odd couple, man. Odd couple. They were so funny to watch, and they were like a grenade within the group that was just happening, but they were laughing themselves. Like we could have all left and they would have been doing the exact same thing.
There's times where Rob was like, "I'll effing kill you." I'm like,
uh-oh.
And he doesn't crack a smile at all when he says that. And you're like, I don't know if he was serious or not. Like I want to believe that he's serious, and I'm never going to ask him if he wasn't serious.
But the thing is that Mike's Canadianness of just like, whatever, go F yourself. I was like,
so nice.
Wow, dude.
Do you guys remember the conversation?
Shaken by that.
Do you remember the conversation about like healthcare at the dinner table? That was like super awkward.
Oh yeah,
man.
Just sit here and eat my sweet potato fries and drink my wine and
totally.
Well, there's a lot of Mike Arsenault stories, which is that dude's funny,
dude. Hysterical.
He's a good dude.
Like
he was hilarious at the after party one night.
His interview persona is way different than his non-interview persona. Like that's like Jekyll. It's like Jekyll and Hyde.
Agreed. Throwing all the shade out there. Mike was hilarious, man. I'm like, I gotta get out of here.
I don't know if hilarious is the word I would use. That's the first time I've ever seen Mike Arsenault angry. But we should probably leave that alone. We should probably.
Yeah, that was funny though.
That was hysterical.
Real funny.
Dang. All right, that's gonna be an off-air conversation because I want to know that one.
I want to read.
Oh yeah.
Cheers.
That's good.
But love those guys, man. I dig both those guys still. But I thought that was the most hysterical pairing of all time.
Definitely made my dinners more fun.
Oh yeah, it did.
Like I'm on Jerry Springer and like some weird marriage counseling.
Yes.
God, dinners.
Larry, number
3.
three.
I'm up. All right. Well, let's see. I was going to go with the hot tub story, the hot tub time machine, but that's been beat up pretty hard. So we'll talk about this time that Mike Arsenault at the after party. No, we'll definitely talk about that afterwards. Really, it's another moment, another impression. We take a lot of pictures. There's a lot of photos taken at regionals and at games, and we always try to take a picture of our media team, which is pretty large. I mean, it's something we probably need to put up also. It's not just the floor MCs and the commentators and the folks doing social media. It's a cavalcade of people behind the scenes that you guys out there don't really get a chance to know, but we know and love and get a chance to work. Have had a chance to work with I've had a chance to work with for years now. And so a fond memory for me is that final picture that we got to take on the floor all together. It doesn't happen often. There's always seems to be somebody missing, but I looked at the picture earlier.
Where's Chase?
I think he's in that one. It's Dylan, usually the one that I don't know. Not like Dylan would ghost us on anything,
right?
But never. And talking about pictures, that one that Chase posted earlier, it was all of us, including Dylan at Granite Games.
Yeah.
Freaking Chase is 9 feet tall. How does that? We're all the same height, and Chase is literally a head taller than all of us.
I'm 9 feet wide in that picture. Good Lord. Bro, like, was that a bad angle? Like, what the hell?
I look 15 in that picture.
You look terrible.
Larry, remember? I was so scared that trip. Do you remember that? Man, I was like, I
You were
don't know
nervous. I
these
remember that.
guys. I was like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I'm here. Yada, yada, yada. Oh, you guys want to take a picture? Cool.
You did suck, man. You suck. No, we kicked it, man. That was the year we had to remember we had to do like a lifting event. And like we
Dude,
had to,
smoke was
that was
coming
good.
out of my ears after that
Yeah.
event.
But anyway,
Sorry.
derailed.
That was good. That was good stuff. I remember, and Mike, I know Brent will remember, but our dinner with Brenton in Miami, his first year at Wadapalooza.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And I think you and I were going to dinner, and Brent, we asked Brenton to come with us, and we didn't really know him from Adam, and he was a new MC, and you know how those freaking new MCs always want to get in your ear about. And dude, we were 5 minutes into the dinner, and I'm like, this freaking kid is awesome, man.
Yep.
He's got something. We need to kind of expand this brother's horizons and get him on board.
I gotta
So we
thank
knew
Dylan.
even then.
I gotta thank Dylan for that. He was the one that was like, dude, you gotta do Wadapalooza. I was like, I don't know. He's like, you gotta do it. But you guys know Dylan. He was like, all right, glad you're here, man. See you later. And I was like, cool. Like, I don't know anybody. And saw the two bald guys, and I was like, hey, you guys, where are you guys going? And we're going
You
to
guys
dinner.
need a
Come
beautiful-
on.
Hey, you guys are two solid cats, right? Because you're bald.
No, I can. You know what's great is last year when we were there, we went to that same restaurant and talked about, that was the spot that it all started, and it's really cool. It's a great memory for sure.
Yeah.
That's
Dude,
the
we
freaking
hammered
beatbox.
food.
We ate, and that was the beatbox rap video coming down the elevator. This is my favorite video of all time.
And
That's
me and
a
Mike
dope
and me and
video.
Mike ate those big plates of meat. Remember that?
Dude, we had I don't even know. Their lady was like, you can't eat all that. We're like,
We
bring
could eat it.
That was
We
great.
smashed it. It was nothing.
Oh, that was so
That was good
fun.
Cool.
So fun.
Wadapalooza was when the first time I had something called Cuban coffee.
Oh man.
Some asshole didn't tell us that you take like this little, like the creamers, like the tiny little creamers that come in those single servings. That's how much Cuban coffee you're apparently supposed
Like
to.
a ketchup cup.
Yeah.
Like when you're at a restaurant, like a little ketchup cup.
Little shot.
Looks like the cup he has, like, oh, this is the cup. It's like, no, this was the cup that's supposed to last like the weekend. I think we all had more than we should have, and that was it's like taking like Acme earthquake pills, and I'm the Wile E. Coyote for that broadcast.
Same. I did the same thing, and I didn't eat for like 14 hours after that. I was like, this is okay. All right.
Larry, I like that. I like the after photo and the gathering of the crew and really trying to showcase, like, you only see a small fragment. Like, even on the broadcasting side, it's like you just see some faces and hear some voices, but like it's like an iceberg, right? That's just a tip, but the true thing holding it all together, it just takes a huge team, and getting together afterwards is always a special moment. So I really like that one.
Yeah, and because a lot of times, I mean, people are there. I know Rothy's there, but I may not have seen him for 3 or 4 days. So it might be the one chance I actually get the chance to hang out and talk to him, or whoever it is. I mean, there's so many people in the crew that are busy. I mean, we are. I know we all hate to admit it, but we're there to work. I mean, they are paying us to be there and do stuff. When we all know we're actually all there just to really hang out. I mean, we're there to see each other. And this whole CrossFit thing's kind of happening around us.
Hey.
No wonder they started cutting people out. Gosh dang it.
You know the rule, dude. You
onto
just
us.
don't smile. Just don't smile. Just don't
Yeah,
smile. Then they know it's okay.
I like that.
Exactly. Don't let them know you're having a good time, and they'll leave us alone or something.
Yeah.
All right. Mike.
Man, I'm gonna dovetail right on that, because honestly, and I geek out on some of this stuff. I've never made bones that I'm not the smartest guy out here, but I feel like I want to learn something every time that we're with that.
Jump in and tell Mike that he's not. You're just gonna let him roll with that? It's like, yeah, you're right. You are the.
I'm used to it. I mean, I'm a fireman. I'm used to people just not giving you any compliments ever. So it's all right. But yeah, man, the crew that's behind the scenes that, most people, and for sure the people listening, would never even know, most people don't know what it takes to put on an event like that. I mean, it's hundreds of people, and maybe for the games, it might be thousands of people. I mean, do it, Chase.
Oh,
There it is. There it is.
Brandon.
Waiting for that crack of that
We're
can.
across the table again.
But being able to talk to the producers and the directors and just saying hi to the cameramen and like the audio people and the photographers and the judges and all that stuff. I try to make the rounds and try to talk to as many people as I can. And there's so many people behind the scenes that no one ever sees or don't really know what's going on. And I try to learn a little bit something. If I'm free, I'll try to listen to the broadcast and I'll kind of hang out behind, where you guys are, what do you guys call it?
Booth?
Analyzing and, team pretty stuff,
Talking shit.
Makeup.
When you're doing the fancy talks and on the old telebox, you know what I mean? And you guys do that stuff.
The fancy talks on the telebox.
Yeah, using the big words and
doing that there jitterbug and
It's cool, man. We say all the cool shit for the big crowds, you know what I mean? But you know what I mean? And so, getting a chance to see the Monday Night Football production trucks and go in those and see the people that are actually working in there, and I'm like, what is all this stuff? I just think it's the coolest thing, and being able to see what kind of production goes on behind the scenes to just make this little weekend of really cool things that we like, and our friends and everything just kind of magically come out. That's what's really cool to me. I mean, I'm a team player. I mean, maybe not Sunday. I'm kind of done by Sunday, but no. But I just love hanging out with the crews, man. I just try to learn something every single time I'm around.
Yeah.
I don't know. So, yeah.
I remember seeing those Monday Night Football trucks for the first time. Was it in Carson or was it
Carson? Yeah.
I remember walking by. I was like, that's when I panicked. I was like, oh shit, this is for real.
Yeah.
I was like, are these the real ones? Like, do you think there's like ones that they just mock up and for fun? I was like I panicked. I had a hard panic. I was like, oh, I'm not ready for this. I'm not ready for this. This is way out of my comfort zone. But yeah, Mike, I like that. That's good.
That's a good one.
Somebody, I think one of the crew said something. I was talking, I was like, oh man, this is kind of cool. I'm just one of the MCs, or whatever. It's cool. I'm just, they're like, just an MC. Like, you guys have 6 MCs for the CrossFit Games. I'm like, yeah. But there's like, like out of all the thousands and thousands of athletes that do this, and they whittle it down to this weekend, you're the 6 that get to do this. I'm like, okay, that's pretty cool. I'm like, so it felt really cool to hear that, you know what I mean? Because you think you're just, doing something that it's because it is so fun. And, after this many years, I mean, Larry's an OG, man. I mean, Larry was there, before I was trying for a few years to try to get on the team. And, you're finally making it. It's been this long. You're like, okay, you're considered a professional. But when you get out there, we talk around, we joke around like now, but you get out there like, yeah, I know what the hell I'm doing. Stand back. Unless Chuck's there, then I get a little nervous, but
that's funny. I don't want to speak for Bill, but it's funny the relationship between, say, like the live broadcast team that does the video calls and then the MCs that do the live calls for the fans that are there, or the dry or the first couple heats. What are they called? Just what do we used to call them?
Heat 1 and 2.
Heat 1 and 2.
Heat 1 and 2.
We all know.
Oh, light. Oh, yeah. The light heats.
Oh, right.
Like broadcast wide, we would call it the light heat.
The light heats. Like, I would never want y'all's job. Ever. In a million years. Never. Like, I have so much respect for what you guys do, not just because of I think it's hard and terrifying, but what you guys do and how hard y'all work. Like, I think no one works harder on the weekends than the MCs, than you guys. Like, what y'all do every event, all day, every day. I was like,
we also have the most fun.
Yeah, but we do. Best seats in the house.
It's
absolutely.
Because, sometimes like, oh, I would never want to do your job. I was like, I have the easiest, most fun job in the world, but they see it completely differently. But, I don't know if I've ever articulated enough to you guys, like the respect that I have for what y'all do. I want no part of it. Zero. At all.
I think I won't speak for those two guys, but I think it goes the other way. Like
Yes.
we see what
Oh,
see
yeah,
what
100%.
you guys do, and it's like, nope. hard pass.
Well, I think for us on the floor, because it's unfolding in front of you, the crowd can see what's going on. We're kind of, just putting it into words form. It's really, unless we totally screw something up, we make a bad time call, we call the wrong name, we mix up a workout movement. I've done all three in the same freaking event, so I mean it happens. But other than that, it's really hard for you to say anything wrong. And my thought process for you guys in the booth is, I would be terrified in the booth just that I would say something wrong. I don't know why. Just it's different. I guess it's so we have speaking for the guys, we have a mutual admiration and respect for you guys as well. I really, really respect what you guys do up there. And by the way, you guys are fantastic at it. We've talked about that before. You guys are awesome.
I think that it's you get really comfortable in the job that you do and thinking about like, oh, if I had to do X, Y, and Z, ooh, that's like totally changing up. Like you guys, when I look at you guys are doing the marathon row. You guys are in the elements. That's why you guys are fried and like burned to shit the entire time, because you're in the elements for the entire time. Whereas for us, I mean, we're up in a booth. It's, we need to have the shade, and we need to make sure we can see the monitors a certain way. And we have to got to make sure we have water, so we're not like, oh, coughing when we're on the microphone or something stupid like that. So, I mean, ours will get very technical because in our position, people are expecting technical calls and technical reasons of why certain things are happening and what's the percentage of this and that and the other thing. Whereas you guys have to rally everybody all day long. Like you are on the whole time. I mean, I know you guys have partners and you guys shift back and forth, between the different people and all that. And I mean, I was called down to the floor one time. I had to call on the floor. And I mean, and it's cool, but I'm not a hype man. Like that's not my gig. That's not my jam. I can't do it. I can call an event, but I'll end up emceeing like I'm commentating. It's not going to be any different. You know what I mean?
I'm a terrible hype man.
No, you're not, dude. Shut it right now.
I was about to say,
Mike,
there's a reason.
You're the one that has more like intimate conversations with the crowd than anyone that I've ever seen.
Absolutely.
There's a reason I'm with Mike. Mike pushes the train. I just ride it. There's a reason I'm with Mike. He does a great job of hyping up everybody, no matter what the heat. He does a great job.
But it's just such a different job because it is more than just going and saying like just yelling or something like that, because especially at regionals when that was around and games, I mean there's a lot of timing that's involved, and especially with games that schedule is the tightest schedule in any event ever. I mean it is not to be played with. There is no buffer zones. It is right now because especially if there's spots on TV or commercials or whatever it is, and that's a very serious thing. So that's the pressure, the beginning and the ends and the in-betweens. But once it's 3, 2, 1, go and it's starting, that's when we get to have the fun. But there's a lot of responsibility involved in emceeing and master ceremonying the event. So that's kind of the truest thing, is keeping time and different things like that.
And I'll say that.
Go ahead.
I'm sorry, Bill. I'll say that one thing that it's taken me. I mean, I've been doing it for probably going on 10 years now, and I still make this mistake. Although every heat 1, heat 2, if you have 4 heats at the CrossFit Games, the light heats, heat 1 and 2, need the same fire and enthusiasm that we give 3 and 4. But day 1, heat 1 is my best heat on the microphone of the entire weekend because I'm just on fire. This is happening. and then heat 3, I'm like, and so you really have to learn how. It's taken 10 years to learn how to pace yourself to some extent.
I used all my good shit already.
Done by heat 1. I've said all the shit that I thought of. I got nothing left. I'm tired. I'm sweating buckshot. It's like we're tapping out with Dylan. So it is good. Bill's right. It's good to be able to shift between guys, and a lot of times we will go singles on heats 1 and 2 and maybe 3, and then we'll pair up on heat 4 because generally you have your people that are seated higher. later in the week, and those are the folks that have risen in the ranks. But yeah, you still want to give that same heat to the same fire to heat number one. But
that's why I like our teams, man. We've been working with each other for so long. You know, I work differently with Brenton than I do with you, Larry, and I work, you know, then with Dylan, and I know what you like. I know what Brenton likes. I know what Kiki likes. I know what Josh likes. You know, it's kind of cool, man. I mean, it's a good group of people, man. We got some talented people, and I think we play off of each other.
I like how it does go different between who you're working with. Like I usually work with Chase and I work with Sean, and there's a different tempo with each. Not that one is better or one is worse, but there's a different tempo, you know, and we play our pieces so that machine rolls the way it's supposed to roll. But I think what's the funniest thing is the fact that, like, you know, you mentioned the thing about the trucks and the Monday Night Football trucks, and what we have heard from the producers and the directors who are the best in the business. They've done the Olympics, they've done the Super Bowls, they've done the World Series, they've done the NBA Finals, they've done everything there is to do. And we're part of that, which is weird because I still feel like, I mean, we've been doing this a long time now, you guys. And it's like, I still feel like a little kid being like, okay, we're just going to start talking, right? And it's like, we're part of something huge. And it's really freaky to say that. And the worst, and this isn't one of my moments for this one, but the first time we were going to go live on ESPN, we're 30 seconds out. We got our microphones, and me and Sean are standing there because we're going to go live on camera first to us. And Sean turns to me and he goes, dude, we're going to be in front of 1 million people right now. And I'm like, Nick, what the heck? That was the first thing that we said 30 seconds before we go on air. I'm like, you're a dick. Whew, okay. Here we go. Can't we just get back to the fun stuff? You know,
when the director comes into yours says, "Don't F it up" right before it happens.
Man, it's just so, like, the fact that it's such a big deal, and yet we're still kind of just playing and having a good time. Like, it's like, how cool is that? Like, that's just really, really amazing to be part of that. It's awesome.
Good peoples. I like that. Nice job.
Look at Chase. Look at Chase trying to wrangle. you knew this was gonna happen.
Get those cats. Get those cats.
I want to hear Brenton's statistical.
I had to dig deep. I had to dig deep for these ones.
Give us some numbers, Brett.
Honestly, truthfully, the last two I have are ego checks, right?
Ooh, okay.
And Chase, as an athlete, you can probably attest to this a little bit.
Unfortunately.
And I'm going to lean on Larry once again to regionals when we saw the ladies compete. And we remember, if you remember, me and you talked a lot about Amanda. And we were like, man, Barnhart is just, I don't know who this girl is.
Where'd she come from?
She looked like a breeding horse out there just running sprints in a very, like, good way. She was out there crushing it, and she looked the part. She acted the part. She did a great job. And I just remember watching the clean and jerk speed ladder and just being like, no, these girls aren't. No, 225 or whatever it finished out. I was like, no way. And she just bink, bar after bar after bar after bar. And she finished in like 51 seconds. And I just remember being like, okay, here we go again. And
is that when you were doing your Olympic lifting stuff? Is that when you were getting kind of big into that? So you're like, oh, bro, I know what Olympic lifting looks like.
Well, not to brag too much on my wife, right? Like, my wife's pretty fit. And I'm like, how fast could you do it? And she kind of told me her score. And I was like, yeah, okay. I was like, how fast could I do it? I was like, I could probably do it in like 1.5 minutes. And then she did it in 51 seconds. And I remember just being like, ooh.
Oh.
Yeah. So it was just cool. I just remember being in the Coliseum. That was one of those moments where I was able to be a spectator and just I literally sat in the stands and listened to the crowd erupt. And it was really cool. And once again, super impressive for sure.
That was fun to watch. And it's, you know, when we've started in 2007 and as we get closer to these years, it's been really cool to see the evolution of the women's side of the competition, not just within themselves, but how much they've advanced physically, competitively, and equally alongside the men. And I think that's been the coolest thing if you want to pull out like a thread like you're talking about, Brenton, is that it's been really neat to see that evolve over the years. And so it's empowering, and I'm really excited that that is something that's getting more into the forefront for women to see, that it's like you can be big, strong, fast, beautiful, funny, talented, and all these other amazing things. Like, it's not just you're real on TikTok. Like, who gives a shit about
Right.
that?
Well, Chase, you probably remember, a long time ago when we both probably started CrossFit. I remember just first getting in, and like a 275 clean jerk for a dude was like, you are the man, right?
Yeah.
And now there's like girls doing it, and they're making it look easy, right? And so, yeah, that whole ego check at the board thing, you see at every CrossFit gym, it just gets better and better every year, for sure.
Totally. Like the Notre Dame slide, you're like, all right, you got me.
Yeah.
Case in point, I'm super excited to see the games this year, how things are getting rehashed from so long ago, to see the comparisons and the side by sides, newer versions or, of some of it. But I mean, man, just when I started, like the first games I went to in Carson was in 2011. And I'm just like, seeing some of the stuff they were doing then to now is just unbelievable. I mean, just in such a short amount of time, it's just unbelievable. Going back, I love that Games is and CrossFit's putting out, old stuff, and going back just to that run in 2009 games, 2010 games, 11, just stuff like that. I mean, just watching, I'm like, I was there. Like, I don't need to see it again. But then I'm like 45 minutes into it, I'm like, oh, that's right. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, seeing 5,000 people there versus what it is now, or something like, it's so cool, man. I love it.
I'll never forget Kalipa snatching 135 and like falling, bent elbows. Like, I'll never forget that.
Killed a cameraman.
Yeah.
Almost killed a cameraman.
I like that. The old ego check. That happens more times than I care to admit as these years go on. So, okay. Well, all right. Are we on 3?
You're on 3.
Great.
Okay.
Yeah.
My third one. I'm setting the record straight on the crit race. And it has to do with the crit race and a young man.
A little collision.
Called Patty Vellner. Pat Vellner. And
old Patty.
A lot has. So when this went down, when the event started, I was over by the trucks. And so the trucks are on the complete, if it was like north to south, like the complete south end of the entire complex. And then you'd walk to the middle where the outdoor stadium was built, and then you'd walk another, and then that's where the Coliseum was. And so I walked through, and they go a couple laps. It's like, I know exactly where I want to post up for this race, because I've cycled enough to understand the difficulties of the course, and there's 3 normal 90-degree turns. But there's one turn that just has this little downhill. It's a tight right turn, but it goes downhill, but then it goes left and it goes uphill, and then it takes right again. It was not a good turn, and knowing how this is going to go, I was like, I know where I want to sit for this entire race. So I walk there and I sit there, and I'm watching this go down, and I don't know what lap this is on, but the peloton of men come through, and I'm watching, and I watch Pat Vellner lose control of his bike, skid, cut left over everyone. I was like, everyone is about to go down right now because Vellner lost control. And a lot of guys, Fraser almost went down on this same turn.
Right. Yeah.
I think they actually got that on video.
Yeah. Yeah. We talked about that.
Wheel slid out and then he got back in. Well,
Yep.
that didn't work for Pat. Pat just cut from right to left across everybody. Hits Brandon Luckett's front wheel. Luckett flips over his handlebars and lands flat on his back. And that move broke off Pat Vellner's
chain.
Not his chain, like the pedal.
Like the
rod.
Was it the pedal? Oh yeah, the whole post thing came off.
Broke off. So like what everyone talks like, oh, Vellner got screwed in the crit race because his bike broke. I was like, no, he effing didn't. He screwed Brandon Luckett by almost killing him because he can't make a right turn in front of everybody, and his peg broke off because he ran into somebody. And I'm setting the record straight because I watched this happen. So everyone's like, oh, mal-equipment. It wasn't fair for Pat. I was like, this is Pat's fault. 100% Pat's fault. I watched it happen, and he almost killed Brandon and 10 other people during the damn crit race. So I'm setting the record straight. So if you guys don't know the true story, that's it. That's the story. Vellner skidded out, safely only hit one person, and that is what broke his bike peg. Nothing else. It wasn't equipment and malfunction. It was user effing error. And that is the record straight, settled for everybody. Done.
Okay.
There's my story.
Soapbox guy just pulled the pin out of the grenade right there to go toss it into the old social networks to see what comes out of it.
Say something about that, Pat.
Better check my phone. Better check my phone. I
Pat.
probably have like 15 text messages about Chase.
I know, totally.
But I just, and I love Pat. And he's never said anything negative about the situation. He's like, oh, my bike broke. I was like, yeah, how'd your bike break, bro? Let's talk about that. You almost killed someone, and this is your fault.
Chase, I love you, but you have the most competitive chip on your shoulder at all times. It never fails, whether it's anything.
Dude, get him on a soapbox, man, and the guy will go for days.
Bill sometimes
like this. Just pumping his fists in the air.
Brenton, you literally can't say anything, Brenton, because you've already 2 stories tonight. You're like, yeah, Fraser, not impressed. Barnard, no way she's finishing it.
Oh, it's getting better. I got a 4th one coming up.
All right, well, let's get to it. This is our 4th and final Mount Rush moment. Bill, bring us home.
All right, mine. Mine's gonna be a real feels one. I didn't have the greatest 2017 games when I was broadcasting. Personally, I felt like I was off sync with Sean. I mean, I don't think it came out that way, but I felt that way. I was coming into this year and I was really, I really want to do a good job. That's really important to me to do a good job. I don't want to just be okay. I want to smash it whenever we're doing. That's how I want to do it. And I was able to realize some of the things that I was doing with Sean, and it had a lot to do with where our monitors were set up, that he was looking at his monitor, I'm looking at my monitor, and they were kind of away from each other rather than being pushed together. Because what I do when I'm with Sean is as I'm broadcasting, as I'm commentating, I'm looking at him. So now I'm in a conversation, which is real important to me. Like, that's how I feel connected. That's why I can vibe off of what he's doing. He can vibe off of what I'm doing, and we can find that tempo that really moves really, really well. This particular year, amazing events, amazing coverage. I felt in sync with everyone that I was working with. I felt that the blending between how we were able to talk to the director, to the camera guys, and what was actually being shown was exactly what we were talking about on the screen. And again, I'm not saying that that I'm some professional or whatever, but I've done this now a lot of years, and they've always talked about how that needs to blend, and there needs to be that synchronicity. And when we were done with this year, I literally was like, that was by far the best thing, broadcast wise, that I've ever been involved with. I mean, just not that I did a great job, but everything that went clicked. I don't remember any issues. I don't remember any problems. I don't remember anything other than every time I felt like we stepped up, we knocked it out of the park. And I'm talking on all elements. And what was so crazy was it felt so good and then disappeared. And that was the weirdest feeling of all times. And I'm talking about just how, I mean, I know that they, Chase, you were part of the broadcast the next year and stuff like that and everything, but it was such a disjointed feeling going from the best we've ever had. It took the guys and the directors and the producers that we worked with that started in 2011, 2012, it took all those years to get us to where we were firing on all cylinders, and it was amazing. And then it was gone. And that was the craziest, weirdest thing. And things started happening when we were at the games, like these weird messages and these weird tweets and these weird whatever. Like, it's just like all of a sudden it seemed like HQ was just starting to go as we were finishing the greatest thing that we've ever done, games wise, broadcast wise. I remember leaving that year just thinking it was the best thing ever, and there hasn't been anything like that since then, which is just unreal. Just unreal. I mean, the moment, I guess, for me, the rush moment for me is that I got to be part of the best ever broadcast setup
like that
ever of the games ever. And I'm stoked about that. I'm really stoked about that.
Top to bottom.
Everything. MCs, the different streams that were out, the different shows that were out, the way that we would set up, the communications that we had, just everything, man. Like, there was nothing that was bad.
It almost felt easy.
It was the best.
Like,
that's what I mean. Like, off that first event, off that crit event, when cyclists and cyclist magazines are saying that we showcased their sport without their athletes in it, as if it was their sport. Like, that set the tone, and it was that all the way through. It was unreal. Unreal.
Yeah, 100%. And I think that was the hardest part about not having it the next year and even the year after that. It was like, and you'll ask anybody, and we've all said this and we've heard this before, it's like we were like ready to take off. You know,
I mean,
it
was,
we're priming of the rocket ship, and it was like starting to rumble all the way up, and then it exploded.
Yeah, seriously.
It felt like moving to Madison, like it was like starting over almost. And then, you know, still going through like the production boot camps and things like that. But it was like the final year, 18 was like, no, there's none of that. It was like, dude, we're all here. Go do your job. Everything's fine. And it was like, legitimately, I remember Brett and I showing up on day number 1 to work, and we're like, what time we got to start? We're like, I don't know, 20 minutes or whatever. Like, just so chill. Like, none of that. Like, everybody was in their place. Everything was ready to go. You knew everything was going to work out just fine. All of those years of building up and like tweaking and adjusting. And I remember Sean saying one year, like, we got our team. Like, we have our team together. You know, we're set. Everybody, I mean, this is it. We got our team. And like, that was true. It was like, you know, the team is there. That's those years of some shaky, some, you know, ups and downs and working the kinks out. There was no kinks. There was nothing. It was, I mean, I don't want to say perfect, because there's always a room for improvement, but it just was really, really smooth and good and quality work.
Well,
really.
That was the second year. That was the second year we were there. Everyone was wondering what it was going to be like the first year. And I mean, I think the first year was good. I mean, I'm not saying that it was bad. I know, like, I was just saying, like, I get very critical of myself when as we all do. You know, we want to do a good job with everything. But you're right. Like, we got there, and after that first year, it was like, oh shit, game on, bring it. And dude, it was on fire. It was on fire. I mean, plus they had Sean Woodland, like his voice running through it. You would have thought we were at Disneyland. You know what I mean? Yeah. Welcome everyone to the CrossFit Games, and you know, whatever, the vendor area and the food vendor area.
Sean's intro, his intro voice to the very first event of the very first day is like this warm blanket over my. I was like, okay, we're here.
Oh, we're here.
Yes.
Okay, everything's good. Everything's
I love it.
That's good.
Yeah,
I like that.
That's
Mike,
mine.
I can still hear your damn dog snoring in the background.
I tuned it out. I mean, it's been so many years. Like, I don't even like.
It sounds like someone literally moving a chair.
Yeah, it's like. You're
All right,
so goddamn cute.
Larry, it's your turn. Last one.
All right, last one, round 4. I was going to do like an event specific. I was going to talk about Battleground, but instead I'm going to talk about something a little bit outside of the games area, a restaurant in particular in Madison, Ian's Pizza.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
see, I figured I just had to say it, and everybody would go,
Yep.
it's the macaroni pizza.
Yeah.
I think we all wanted pizza one night, our first year in Madison, which was 2017. And we went, and it was absolutely phenomenal. So now it's been a staple for our crew to go and have a couple of slices, because that's plenty of some of the craziest pizza ever.
That's usually our like, isn't that our pregame before after it's all done?
After party. Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, that's we hit that on the way to the after party. Yeah.
That's when I freaked out at the table because everybody was standing around me, and I was like,
That's right.
You screamed Brussels sprouts, and we all ran. We didn't know what was going on.
"Get the F down and eat your pizza. Stop talking and standing next to me. I'm tired of seeing your pockets at eye level."
Tired of seeing your pockets.
Pockets?
Belt buckles in my face. Yeah.
But yeah, and I just, not just Ian's, but everywhere that we're able to go and have some cheese curds and beer and
Shots. Shots.
Yes. Oh, shots. Oh, it wasn't the games, but hands down my favorite after party was Granite Games. When I don't know what happened with Brenton, but Brenton bought shots for like 3 hours.
Fireball.
Oh my God. That was also the night, correct me if I'm wrong, guys, that was the night that Dylan ghosted us in epic fashion.
Epic.
I think that was the time
fashion.
you guys are like, he's here. And I was like,
yeah, that's the
time. And then he was just gone.
Yes.
Was this the year that started the FU chase text?
Yep.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Did it?
Yep.
Why did that start? I don't
Because he had a kid.
No.
Oh, that year. Yeah. That's right.
I think it started at Granite Games though, because we were all.
It did.
Like, was it 15 or 16?
Yeah, it was a couple years in. I don't know.
It was
16.
16.
The next year, I was booked. Like, they were like, "Hey, we want you to come out here." And like 2 weeks before, I was like, "Hey, I haven't got my flight information." They're like,
that's right.
"Oh, right. We kind of forgot
That's right.
about this thing." And so everyone's like, "Where are you?" I was like, "Oh, I'm not gonna be there."
That's right.
That's right. Because that's right.
And then we started the text chain, because unfortunately, it's like I've missed more things with you guys than we have all done together collectively, just because of timing, poor
Daddyisms.
Baby decisions.
Daddyisms.
I have a knack for having a child during Wadapalooza every
Bad timing.
that's damn Cinco de Mayo, man. Who knows? Yeah, dude, I like that a lot. That was good, and it was the places we would go. Yeah, we talked about this. I think it was 17, but the bar at the Sheraton.
Oh yeah,
with our wonderful waitress,
the Asian lady.
Chase, I was.
She's the best.
I was driving through Nebraska listening to that episode and bawling. I was laughing so hard about you and that Asian lady. Oh my gosh.
What you want? What you want?
It's like,
oh, you want your wine?
It was a massive generational gap. Yet we closed it quickly.
Oh yeah.
Dear Lord.
Like, definitely love hate. Yeah, that's legitimately what I was going to talk about. Like, not wanting to be anywhere else post event. Like, cool. Let's just relax together, and we'll be nice and quiet, and have a couple drinks, have some food. I mean, every night it's like cheeseburger, sweet potato fries, and cheese curds, and beers or whatever it is. And it's like, man, it's just sitting there, kind of just not talking about anything.
Nope.
Chase and his love interest, not knowing if she's spitting in all of our foods, or gonna give her phone number out? I don't know. Like, it was just very, very odd, but you could tell, like, she would like make a mean comment and then kind of give you this like little sassy smile on the back end. You're like, wait a minute, she likes us. And, you know, you tip her really well. And it's just a good night, man. And it's the little things, man. Just, hey, let's not go to this party right now. Let's just hang out together.
Totally.
Cool.
Yeah, and it's like, hey, we're gonna go to this place. I'm like, I'm good. I'm gonna go to the same place, order the same food, the same drinks with the same people, and say absolutely nothing, and it be
The best.
The best time ever.
Experience of that, and that was the things that was so heartbreaking that we're gonna miss because, that we didn't know. But the one thing I can't say is that we left a stone unturned.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, oh, I wish we would have. Like, I have none of those.
No.
Right.
0. And so,
I just want to do them again. I want to turn the stones over again.
Yeah, I'm ready.
Yep.
I ended the 2018 games epic fashion, I'll just say. I had some new things. I had some new things going on in my life, and I just said, you know what? I like dancing. I'm gonna go have a couple beverages.
Hey, Mike, you're always down to go have a good time, man.
Dude,
You're my ride dog. You always come with me, man.
I had a blast.
That's
awesome.
I like that. That was good. All right, was that you want to put the part B in there? Or is that your?
I'm not going to add anything to that.
All right,
and that is for a different podcast.
Making sure. All right, Brenton.
All right, last ego check of the night. Here we go. So Mike and I had the luxury of calling the age groups, which was a lot of fun. It really was. And that year they did the 1 rep max shoulder to overheads. And I remember thinking, like, what was I doing at 16 and 17? Well, I can tell you this. I was not going over my head with 340 pounds.
Oh, my.
I just remember thinking, like, nobody's going over 300. That's what I said. I think I even said it to Mike. Like,
yeah,
like 300. It's like, pff. Okay. I clean and jerk 300 one time. I thought it was the coolest thing ever. I like checked off that box. Well, to see a 16-year-old, actually 10 16-year-olds go 300 over their head was like the biggest ego shot.
Oh man,
ever.
Damn kids.
I'm out.
Damn kids.
Dude,
they're incredible. They're absolutely incredible.
On your athlete hate list. Hey, well, the next time I compete, will you just shit on me the whole weekend in hopes that we can have this like weird reverse situation?
I mean, probably.
Just send him a video and he'll critique it for you.
That's gonna happen no matter what.
But on top of that, and Chase, we just recently had a text conversation about this, and I was like, about the Masters, right? So I'm 33. I'm going to be 34. I was like, cool. So what would I have had to have done as a 35-year-old? Only 400 pounds.
400?
Joel Braun, my man from Honduras. 400. So I'm like, yeah, I'm good.
Nah.
Ego went from here at the beginning of this podcast to like, it's at the floor.
You just like nut checked yourself the whole time. We didn't even have to do it. You did it to yourself, man.
I was really hoping 2020 was going to be the year that I just accepted everybody for what they were. But
nah, bro.
Nah.
400?
That's insane.
400. Yeah,
That's
looked
insane.
it up.
If you put that on the ground right now, like pick that up or I'll kill you. I was like, just shoot me. I don't feel like dying.
It would be a tough deadlift right now, I would say.
Still, I mean, like I said, I was thinking about what I was doing at 16 and 17, and it's just really impressive. I love this sport just like you guys all do, and to see these young guys just come out and perform these feats that like 10 years ago I never would have thought that was even possible, let alone I was doing, you know?
Yeah.
And it really is cool. And that was always one of my fond memories with me and Mike and the rest of the age group people was able to see very young and very old do things that I never thought were possible. And that's one of my fondest memories for sure.
And I think the crazy part is with those younger athletes, like no matter what I was physically doing at 16 and 17, I felt like I was still a shithead. Right? And these kids, most of them that I've run into, have this like emotional maturity that I probably still don't possess as a 38-year-old. Like, and I don't know if that's a product of, and we say this a lot, is like CrossFit brings in a certain person, not even a demographic, just a certain human being. Right? And if you're not that person, you just naturally get weeded out. And you usually weed yourself out. You dig your own self up and you uproot and you're gone. Nobody pushes you out. And to see these young kids with this, not just this like physical maturity of like 300 pounds overhead, but like this emotional maturity and the way they handle themselves and the graciousness that they have, like that's the part I love about the teenagers, that they're all so cool. Not that you need to be like not grounded, but it's refreshing to see. I was like, man, I was not you when I was 16 or when I was 17 at all, not even close, on so many levels.
I wasn't that at like 24, you know, probably still not that at 33, but I'm with you. Like even calling their events and stuff, they were always super cool and mature and grateful for everything that me and Mike and the rest of the staff was able to provide for them. And it really made my weekend for sure.
That's awesome. I like that.
Cool.
Oh, all right. Caboose. So for kind of with a little bit of what we said, and especially kind of what Bill was talking about, is like this being the best year ever and like one of the most fun years, and it was simple, it was easy, and we kind of felt like we hit our stride. And Bill was back doing all the live stuff in the live stream with the individuals. I was back with the teams. But for me, during the regionals, it was during the Latin American regional, I was in Rio de Janeiro. And there wasn't much to do. It was like venue, hotel, venue, because you didn't really want to go out. I don't need to go out anywhere where I'm a sore thumb.
Silly white guy.
In any foreign country. It's like I'm tall, I'm super white. Like, you're like, American. You're like, yes, correct. And so I was talking with Kutcher, and we were having this conversation, and Ling was there. And the question's like, hey, what do you want to do? I was like, you know what I would really love to do? And I was just honest for the first time, because for me, I have done a lot of different jobs on the broadcast side. And I have been moved around, not say forcefully, but I felt like for a long time is like, I'm a team player. I'm grateful for where I am. I will do whatever it takes to make this team better.
You're the sweeper, dude. You're the sweeper.
Thanks.
You are, seriously.
But, when I came in and started, I was like the backup of the play-by-play for like the women's first 2 heats only. And then the next year it was team play-by-play. And I got shifted around a lot, and I didn't really argue or throw fits, but at certain times I was like, hey, I would really love to be this and stay here. But a lot of it too was like, I was thankful for what I got. I would never complain. I would just be like, and I moved around a lot. And so finally, for the first time, I was like, listen, I would love to just be on camera. I want to be on camera. I want to be on the desk. And, I love the play-by-play, and I love sometimes if I got to do a color analyst position, which is what I did this year. I was color for the teams. And it was just me and Jeff Brightwell. But I told Coach, I was like, listen, I think I would really enjoy being in front of the camera for the first time and just being a part of that. And that was just our regional talk. And it was the first time I've ever said what I would love to do or what I would want to do. And so when the teams were done on the weekend, Kutcher got into the main media tent, or with Joe. He's like, hey, we want to put Chase on the desk. And so he got me on the desk for like the last half of the last day, because I was done. The teams were done early, and the individuals said 2 or 3 events left to go. And so it was really cool to get put in that position. I was so scared. It was like 2012 Heat 1, first time broadcasting all over again. I was like shaking, and it was like Dan Bailey, and like everyone's like, Dan. I was like, I'm here too. Hey, hello. And I was just,
Captain America.
Yeah. There's a height requirement for Captain America. I'm sorry.
Oh,
I'm not talking about Dan. I'm talking about
right.
Totally.
And Rich. Okay, so anyways, it was a cool kind of like speak it into existence, and then some type of, I felt like I worked for that, and it was cool to reap some rewards there. But the funniest part was the handstand walk event was coming up, and I talked to Bill about this during our last episode, and they're like, Chase, we need someone to go demo the handstand walk. I was like, cool. Well, who do you want me to call? They're like, no. Will you go run down there and go out to the floor and demo this? I go, absolutely effing not. You're like, what? I was like, I saw that last. I was like, I can't do that. I can walk up and down the ramp. I can weave through this, and I'm baller at double unders, but I will eat shit on those parallel bars so fast. I will not. It's the first time I've ever said no to anything at the CrossFit Games. Like, I will not go and demo that. Get someone else to do it. No, because I was already afraid to embarrass myself on the desk in front of people. I was not going to go out in front of the whole Coliseum and eat shit on a parallel walk that I have no business being on. And so they eventually got Travis Mayer to go and do it, because I think he was on the demo team that year?
Yeah, he was on the demo team.
That was cool. So it was getting to do something I never thought I would do, but I was open and wanting to do it for the first time, getting that opportunity. And then as soon as I got a new opportunity, I completely shut it down and totally clamped up.
Who wanted you to come out and do it? Was that Dave?
Yeah, that was.
You told Dave Castro no.
Not to his face.
I'm sort of proud of you, dude. I'm sort of proud of you. That's a big one. That's way out of your realm. Like, you don't say no.
It's like, hey,
you don't. I mean, that's not your deal. That's impressive.
I'm just like, I'm realistic to a certain extent most of the times, and I might overestimate my own abilities. Like, we all may do it certain, but like, I was like, no, I'm not doing that.
Crazy.
But that was a cool moment, and the special part was that Kutcher was the guy I talked to. He helped me get that position, and then when I was on, Ling was in the Coliseum and took a picture of me on the Jumbotron on the dash. He's like, congratulations. So it was a really cool thing, and it kind of finished where you started, Bill. Was like, it felt like finally I felt good. I felt like I was in a good place. I enjoyed all my jobs. It was like, finally, like everybody, like all of us, like, hey, this was the best year. We finally hit our stride. It's effortless. We're all happy. We're doing our thing. And the hard part was, and I think that was the biggest hard part for all of us, is that when that was taken away, that is what I think it was the hardest part, because it wasn't like, okay, we get it, you were removing. It's like, no, we worked so hard, all of us, and everyone involved with us. Like we said before, from top to bottom of the iceberg, is like everyone poured their heart and soul into making sure the world saw CrossFit and the CrossFit Games for the beautiful, amazing spectacle what it was. And it took one person to just get rid of it, and that hurt.
If it would have been a shitty year, and we would have had a bunch of mistakes and all that, it would have been like, okay. But like, to be at the pinnacle of what we've been able to do, and then have that be it, like have the cord be yanked out then.
It was like, we felt like, it wasn't that we made it. It was like, we finally made it to the launch pad.
Yeah.
Right? Like we got, it's like, now we're going to take off.
All the bugs were worked out. The bugs were worked out. We're ready to go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think that was the hardest part. But to wrap that up, it was the hard part for me when that was taken away was you guys.
This.
Right?
Yeah.
Not this. For me, is like, yes, this is a huge part, but it was like, I felt for every single person that I know who worked so hard against opposition, right? It's like, I felt like we as the group made the spectacle what it was, despite a lot of things, despite a lot of hurdles that were unfairly thrown into us, but it's like we didn't care. It's like, I will get dragged through this street to make this great. I don't care what it takes. And I saw everyone else do that from, again, tech, cameramen, MCs, producers, directors, operators, the people that were just like the dude that walks with the cord behind the cameraman. Right? There's a person for that job. His only job is to roll cable. Right? And that is what stung the most, is like, we worked so hard to get here for almost a decade, and it was taken away at the time where it was like 3, 2, 1, and before we could say launch, they just turned the engine off.
Yep.
That was the hardest part.
I agree.
But
From a guy that came in late, I remember back to our conversation about an hour ago. I remember showing up and just being like, man, these guys all have it. I want it, but they all had it. And then once I was in, and like you said, we kind of all got our ball rolling and the niche was found. Boom, it was gone. And it hurt. I know it hurt the MCs. It hurt all of us when you guys weren't a part of what we were doing, for sure.
Yeah.
Sad.
But that being said, is like and that's why we wanted to do this episode specifically with this group, is like, we have a relationship with this episode could have 40 people on it.
Oh, easy.
Absolutely.
Easy.
Yeah, totally.
Easily. But at the same time, is like, we've weaved these webs between this group in so many different ways, and it wasn't just the games or regionals or open or Wadapalooza or Granite games. It's nice to just bring it back together. And what me and Bill specifically wanted is we wanted to make sure that we got to send this episode off with the understanding is like, we know what the moment means now. Yeah. Right? So instead of just like, hey, see you next year, and we didn't get to, is like, I wanted to make sure we capped this off and we shared these moments, and we made people aware of like how special this was for a lot of people, not just the 5 people on this podcast right now.
Yeah. For sure.
I mean, think of the hundreds of people probably for you guys. I mean, you guys are super famous, but that reach out to you over the last, year or so, you know what I mean? Just trying to touch base. Hey, haven't seen you in a while, or man, miss you guys, or whatever. Even just reposting things for the episode, that's going to air tomorrow or in the YouTube tonight. So many DMs are just like, oh my God, this is going to be great. Can't wait to see you guys, or miss you guys. I mean, there's so many. It is deep, man. Like,
yeah,
there's some good people out there, man. Some good, hardworking people, and we got the best job of the whole weekend.
And
that's something that. Go ahead, Jason. No, it's something that Mike said about good people, and I think we can probably all agree there's been a lot of people. I mean, we have a huge family within the media and within the games itself, not just the media guys. I know that's kind of our place, but the media, the gear crew, the judges. I mean, we're tight with everybody. We get a chance to hang out with everybody. And generally we don't get, once you get to the games level with that crew, you don't get any shitty people. You know what I mean? Those folks, like you said, they kind of weed themselves out long before they would get to the games. So by the time you get there, you've got the best people you could ask for in every single position. And it may have taken a decade for us to get there, and then to have it turned off before we really got to get started, just to commiserate with everybody was still painful. Still bearing the scars from that.
I'm not laughing at you, dude. I'm laughing at Mike's dog right now.
I see it.
Damn dog.
I'm like,
I had to reach out and wake her up real quick. I'll know for the future, Sorry.
Hey, I don't want this to be over, although I think for the podcast, hey, it's like, I want to thank you guys for taking the time. Like, Mike, I know you got fire stuff that you had to work around to get that. Brenton, you got family stuff you got to get around that. Larry, you're basically in
a cave. I mean, I don't know if you guys know, I'm sitting on a wrestling mat on the floor with an ab mat behind my back, which is why I keep moving like this.
Like, have this like leg crank pedal that actually
power on. So that's what's keeping the electricity on.
Yeah, and you know when 2018 came up and I had this, I brought this idea to Bill, and it wasn't even, he didn't even let me finish the sentence of like, absolutely, hell yes, let's get the crew back together, let's share some stories, break some bread, crack some beers, and just get back to the old times. Even though the old times were a lot better because we're usually sitting at a table. It's probably,
And I would get to see you guys tomorrow, right? Like,
Yeah.
Totally.
we'd wake up and do it all over again, you know?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly, and it's probably good we're not all at a table because this would have been this would have gotten much more dangerous. So in our own spot.
I mean,
12-hour
this might be your guys' worst episode ever. I kind of don't give a shit because I get to hang out with you guys and it's not my podcast, so I don't care.
I totally forgot. I had to look over. I was like, oh shit, people are still watching.
I was going to ask, is there folks still watching?
We've had people watching the entire time. We've had people watching the entire time. So those of you guys that have been hanging out,
thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's super cool.
Before we jump off here, look, thank you to you guys, each and every one of you guys. And I'm not saying about the people on YouTube. Like, thank you. Like Bill, Mike, Larry, Brenton, I love you guys. I really do. You guys are like brothers to me. You're like family to me. I would kill anyone for you. I know that got a little aggressive, but I mean,
I've seen you get angry.
Right?
Wait. Would you get rid of the Asian lady at the hotel for me?
Oh,
That'd be tough. That'd be tough, dude. That'd be tough because she brings his wine, so that would be.
I know.
dude.
What you want?
God,
What you want?
Oh, hey, Melody. Thanks for being here. That's awesome. But yeah, guys, look. Thank you. Thank you for being here. This was my favorite episode we've done. We've done over 40. I can't believe we've done over 40. I mean, we started this in March, but like this is by far the reason why we started this. It was like to do something we love and to share that with people that we love, specifically you guys in particular. Thank you guys for being here. I hope you guys had fun. We'll do this again down the road because we're going to make more memories. I love the direction that CrossFit is trying to steer this back to where it was. And from everything I hear, especially just the whispers in the CrossFit sphere, I think we're going to get back to a good place. I like what Eric's doing. I love the position that Dave is now solidified to be in. And I have faith. I've always had faith. And the only issues I ever had was someone that didn't have faith in us. And I don't have to worry about that person anymore. So, love you guys.
Well said.
Love you too.
All right.
Peace out.
You guys.
Take care, my friends. It's good.
Love you, bro.
Take
Love you,
care,
man.
fellas. Be careful.
Chase, work on that golf swing.
That's my son does when it's all over.
Oh man, that's good.
Holy frick, that was fun.
Dude, that was cool.
So
That was
good. Oh, we're
That was
still live,
awesome.
just so you know, Chase.
Oh,
You guys who are live that stuck with us, God bless you all. Bruce,
Oh,
Melody,
serious.
is that Shelly, Janelle, Kristen?
Thanks.
Thank you guys. Really do appreciate it. We'll do this again. We'll do this again sometimes. I can't believe you got stuck through over 2 hours worth. God bless you.
oh
all.
wow.
I hope you guys
Wow.
were drinking something too.
I hope so too.
Right.
Thank you, and we're sorry.
I really
Yes.
We didn't even talk about favorite drinks.
Well,
Hey, save something for the next podcast, dude.
That's right,
That's
man.
true.
podcast. All right, those of you guys on YouTube, we are going to check out. Thank you for being here. Love you guys. Till next time.